Hey, 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 hey. What's happening? What up? Happy Sunday evening, everybody. Welcome to Late Night with the Dago. I hope you're all having a great end to your weekend. And what better way to end this weekend than to be hanging with my favorite peeps? What's up? What's up? Somebody threw up the Dago signal, and here I am. Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Like I said, it is the end of the weekend, unfortunately, and I hope you all had a great one. I really do. Tomorrow we get to start the week off again. Um, back to Monday, back to Monday, back to Monday. But we'll do it upright. That's a fact, folks. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat. Get comfortable wherever you guys are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you guys. Wherever you are, I hope it's good for you because it's good for me to be here with you. What's going on, everybody? 10:23 p.m. here, Eastern time on this late Sunday night. So, like I said, I figured I was hanging out there with Dinky and the crew over there for a while. And I said, what the heck? Why not? Let's do it. Always a great show with Dinky over there. Willie was there. Sarge was there. The Clue and Cluminati, or I'm sorry, Clue Minotti and Cletus were over there for a bit. Great bunch of people. No snow as of yet, Miss Carolyn. None at all. None at all. It's like we got 47 peeps in here right now. 22 likes, guys. Hit the like button if you will, please, on your way in the door. Share this out. Let's get in the algorithm if we can. So let's see who we got with us tonight. Looks like Gary Epley. Welcome back to you. Carolyn Miller, always happy to see you, dear. Pammy B, hey, hey, good to see you. Good golly, Miss Molly's in the house. What's going on, Molly, dear? Good to see you tonight. Brady B, always happy to see you. A.R. Hayes and ex-con Stotts. Good to see you, my brother. Good to have you here tonight. Thanks for joining us from Nevada. The bright lights of Vegas, sir. Good to see you. Tech Death Hippie, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Have to take you up on that offer about some of that music stuff you was talking about. Bring it on, brother. Bring it on. Dreamers in the house. What's going on to you? Good to see ya. Doodlebug, what's happening, sis? Good to have you here. Always good to see you. Natalie B, thank you for joining us for this late night show. Yes, yes, yes. Let me see. Anybody else I got in here? Badass CJ Pruitt, what's going on? Good to see you, Missy RN. Welcome to you. It's a new face, I think. Good to see you. CL's in the house. What's going on? Sorceress, welcome back to you. Good to see you. Tina B. Again, great to have you here. Senny Kerf, thank you for joining us. Neil Homestead, good to see you from Alabama. Bobby, old dude, my friend, good to see you, brother. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Teresa, thank you for joining us tonight. I think I got everybody. Let me check the bottom down here. Matt M. Low 12, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Sony's in the house. There she is. What's going on, sis? Good to see you tonight. Let me see. Chad Button coming in from Iowa. Good to see you, brother D. Marie. Welcome back to you, dear. Thank you for joining us tonight. I don't think I see anybody else yet. Thank you so much, Miss Doodle. I appreciate that very, very much. Guys, these links are put up here. To be honest with you guys, so that this helps here for anybody that supports the channel via these links, that helps to pay the bills for my internet service, my StreamYard service, my YouTube premium service. It keeps me coming out live and to you. Other people like to think other things with it. That is not what it is. And you can ask anybody that's been here for a long time. That's what it's for, is to help pay the bills so I can continue doing this. It's not cheap, folks. So that's why we drop those links that way, guys, not for any other reason. And anybody that has donated in the past, thank you so very much. God knows I appreciate you guys. It's definitely not something that is expected, but it is so very much appreciated. Sammy Reeser, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, hey, hey. Look at that. Miss Brandy B has been here, a member of this community way longer with me personally, but this community itself for 13 months ago. That's a long time, guys. And she is, of course, one of my amazing moderators. Always doing what she can to make this channel grow and continue to be. And I appreciate you so very much, Brandy. God bless you. Thank you for being part of this community. We love you. All right, all right, all right. That's awesome. Again, thank you, Brandy, for that, and Doodle for that. All right, Natalie B with the first super chat of the night. Thank you, Natalie, for that. I appreciate you so very much. I really do. That all does help so very much as well. God bless you, dear. That's right. Next month. Next month, 2 years she's been with me, guys, from the beginning. When I started over in the drama community, trying to stand up against bullies and things like that. That's where me and Brandy hooked up at the first time. I tried to give her a safe space to be in, a community to be part of that was not gonna try to harm her or her family. She could speak her mind and feel free and comfortable, and that's how we got together. She's still here 2 years later, and I appreciate you so very much, Miss Brandy. Speaking of which, as much as I hate to do this, a lot of you guys have no idea what I'm going to be talking about, but a few couple of you, very couple of you do. Brandy being one of them. The community that I started in, which was the drama community. Okay, there's you get to meet people in all communities when you're there. Um, and one of the people that kind of got my start going. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much, Doodle, for that super chat as well. I appreciate you so much, Doodle. Thank you. Another one of my amazing moderators. Um, so the way I got started on YouTube, you guys, was from watching a YouTube show. It was a regular show called the Angry Grandpa Show. I think some of you heard this story. And the Kid Behind the Camera show, stuff like that. That's where I got my. That's how I started watching YouTube. Period. It was entertainment. Um, and that's where a lot of like Brandy, her, we were called youngins because we followed a show, just like you guys are meatballs. We were called youngins over there, watching Angry Grandpa and his crazy antics and stuff like that. And it became a big part of a lot of our lives from watching it. Welcome, Bianca. Good to see you. So there were characters in that community that we followed. Michael Green, his girlfriend Bridget, his brother Charlie, his sister Jennifer, Kimberly, and then Angry Grandpa, of course. Bridget, Michael's girlfriend, now wife, her father was involved in that. His name was Doug West, and just quite a few other people, family members, and it was just a thing we followed. So, let me think what I was going to say now. That was 6 years of that, folks. 5 years, 6 years of that. I followed that ongoing daily. It was just, it was a very entertaining community. And then, like I said, the bullying had started with people. I became very close to one of the other creators that was part of that family by the name of Charlie and supported him wholeheartedly. Became a moderator of his and all that kind of stuff, and still support Charlie. I consider Charlie to be a good friend, and I always will. Um, and then, like I said, there was drama that would go on in the other part of the channel, and then Angry Grandpa passed away in 2017, which was very sad for a lot of us. Welcome, Idaho University. And it kind of stunted some of the what was going on over there, and things changed a little bit. Things got easier for some people, and I kind of backed out of there and decided I wanted to do my own thing a little differently. And I came to this community because I'm very passionate about the true crime stuff. Welcome, Candy Girl. Good to see you. And when Sorry about that. So, um, I was trying to say something here and I lost my train of thought. I pulled a Dago. How about that, guys? One second here. Um, oh, so things changed and I decided, my wife was like, Dago or Joe, Joe, she was like, why don't you just do what you want to do? You know what I mean? And be what you want to be. I mean, she's like, I respect what you were doing over here, but you've done what you can do. Why don't you move along and doing your own thing for yourself? And another thing that you would probably be better at. So I did. And here I am. I kind of converted into this genre and this community and this platform, and here I am, and all of this amazing community that's here now. But I still followed along with that community over there. I still have quite a few people that are here. You guys have seen Faux Popper pop into here. Of course, Brandy's here. Um, Robin and she comes in here every now and again. And Rachel and Morticia and a few with Pookie and a few of these people, they jump in here. Welcome, Justice for Med. Good to see you. Guys, on your way in the door, if you would hit that like button, I'd really appreciate that. So, but like I said, I keep in touch with the people over there and I follow what's going on in some senses because those are my roots, guys. That's how it works. Like I said, so over the past 5 years, I think it's been, or 4 years, something like that. Um, that group of people. The one gentleman I've still followed, kept in contact with, and supported him, his name was Doug West or Dougie2 West, whatever channel name you want to go by. That would be Bridget Green's father. And he was part of the family, was in a lot of the videos and stuff in the beginnings, and they had a falling out and stuff like that happened. But I still followed and supported him because it was just the way it was. So his health had gone downhill quite a bit, and he wasn't he was estranged from his daughter, and it was kind of sad to see it from both sides. I'm a family person, and a lot of us wanted everybody to kind of come back together and go back to the way things were. Well, in my opinion, I've always stated that when Angry Grandpa passed away, I think he was the glue, in my opinion, that kind of held things together. Okay. And I think when he was gone, there wasn't that glue anymore, and everything kind of just completely fell apart. I've watched, followed, and supported Doug West, Dougie2 West for, like I said, 2 to 3 years now, without fail, in and out of his issues with his health and so on and so forth and all that, but still supported him. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I was live yesterday when I had heard it that um Doug lost his fight with his health and with his life and passed away. Um, and it was not a good thing. There's a bad, bad scenario, and I'm just very, very saddened to see and hear it. A lot of people have recognized it, and it's sad. It's all very sad. Um, and I'm very sad about it myself because he never got to um mend things with his daughter and the family and his grandkids before he lost this fight with his life. I'm so sad and saddened to see and hear that. It just is not. I think all of us in some sense thought that Doug was gonna be able to make up for what happened in some sense, or make things right, I guess, for lack of better terms. Okay. Yeah, I think we all thought because Doug was in and out of the hospital a lot, and he wasn't doing good. Then he was okay, and then he wasn't doing good, and he was okay. And it's like, okay, go make up with your daughter, meet your grandkids, have some kind of a life with them before you don't. You know what I mean? And he just didn't do it. He wasn't able to get to that point, and sadly, it's too late now. It's very sad to me. Um, you don't know sometimes what you have, or what you could have until it's too late. And it saddens me to see people go through that in their families and not be able to fix those issues. You know what I mean? So, um, I feel really bad for that situation. Excuse me. Um, and I just, of course, I want to say to Doug, rest in peace, and I hope that there's no more suffering for you, and that maybe throughout this, that the other side of things can see what could have or would have possibly been. And I hope, I don't want anybody to hurt throughout that at all, but I just hope that he's resting now. There's no more sadness, there's no more suffering in his life. And I do wholeheartedly hope that he is resting now, and that his family does know that as well, and hopes for that as well. Excuse me for a second. Yeah, he did have a bad heart, and that's what happened. Um, and I didn't know him personally. Don't get that wrong, guys. I didn't. I watched him for a long time. Like I said, when you watch these shows, you become very close to these people in your own mind and your own feelings and your own soul. And I just you feel bad seeing things happen that shouldn't. Okay. So it's rough to think about the situation itself. That's what breaks me up about it. Okay. So I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. Um, and I wanted to make sure that I did put that out there. Um, so, rest in peace, Doug. And I hope the pain is gone and that things are better for you, brother. Very much so. So anyway, I'm sorry because a lot of you guys have no idea what I'm talking about or who I'm talking about. But being that, this is my platform, regardless of what um regardless of what community I'm in, I needed to say that. I needed to put that out through my channel. Because it's a very sad situation to me. Hold on a minute. So anyway, that's why. And again, my apologies because I know you guys don't know very much. One sec. Okay. Um. Yeah. Exactly. I'm just wasn't gonna do a whole big thing or any of that because it's not what he was about. He didn't like that. Um. And I just wanted to put it out there that I wanted him to. I just wanted to put out a rest in peace memorial, and that was all out of respect for him because I did very much respect him and very highly respected him. So, um, that's pretty much it. So my apologies for that, guys. Like I said, it's very weird to go into somebody's show that you know, and they're talking about somebody you don't know, and I I get that. Like I said, I know there's like maybe one or two people in here that know who I'm talking about. Everybody else, my apologies that you don't for that you don't know what I mean. But it's just me. You guys know how I am. I'm a very caring person and a very emotional person. So that's my little thing for Doug. Um, and that, just know that I respected you, sir. And your situation was a horrible one. He didn't have a lot of good going for him, you guys. It's sad, to watch somebody go through the things he's gone through and not have, the ability to have things be better for him, I guess you could say. Oh, it's all good, Brandy. He was so easygoing. He never would have held on to that. I can promise you that much. Um, like I said, he suffered a lot, guys. His health was bad. He was miserable a lot. He had congestive heart failure. He struggled in with places to live, but he always went live to his community and did his live streams and stuff like that to make them know, to let them know that he cared and that he was thinking about them. And the man lived in his truck. He lived under bridges. He lived in hotels. It was just a bad situation. Yeah, K Dips, what's up? So, um, it was sad to watch as it progressed and it never got better, and then the fact that he had family out there and they were all estranged was really hard to see too. So, and when I heard it, I wasn't super surprised. I had watched him a couple weeks before around Christmas. He was in the hospital and then he ended up being on life support and then he had a heart attack. I mean, it was just bad stuff all the way around, you guys. So I'm just hoping and praying that he's in a better place, no more suffering, and he's a happier person. That's all. So, and I appreciate everybody else out there, even people that were not, that I guess you could say were against him, were putting up memorials in regards to him. And I appreciate and respect that. So, thank you to those people as well. He was a big part of the community that we were all part of at one time and where we started from, that's important to me. So, but anyway, again, thank you all for the kind thoughts and wishes. I appreciate you. That's why I love this community because you have no idea who this person is, but you're still willing to put out a hand and say, we're here for you, Dago, and we love you and all that. And I appreciate that because you guys are beautiful people. And I appreciate you all, every single one of you for that. No, Jules, it wasn't that one. That's what a lot of people thought at first. It's not Doug Hutton. It was Doug West. He was from the other side. Good to see you, by the way. It was not the Doug that a lot of you guys knew, Doug Hutton from No Thanks. No, not that one. This was from the very beginning of my time on YouTube in the like I called it, we called it the drama community over there. The Boit, the drama, basically drama. So yeah, it's okay, Jules. Thank you, hon. A lot of people don't. It's like I said, it's weird to hear you guys have to sit here and listen to this, but I had to put it out on my channel at some point because this is the only channel I have to do that with. So that's why. Um, but either way, we were out there. We did that. Again, Doug, rest in peace. God bless you and your family. Are all in my thoughts and prayers. And no more pain, my friend. No more pain. So, moving forward. Besides that, I hope everybody else. Yeah, I agree, Brandy. I saw that too, and I have a very high respect for the fact that they did do that. That says a lot to me. a whole lot. And I'm glad that that was done that way with class and respect as it should have been. Oh, absolutely. Welcome, Lisa Wilson. Jules, yes. I hope you did too, hon. Very much so. Thank you. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. Welcome, North Carolina Mountain Man. Rach is in the house. B. Louise, Lisa Wilson, K Dips 18. Let me make sure I didn't miss any, but I did catch you. Idaho University, Inquisitive Wolf. Good day and night to you. Vergs. I think I said it right. Brian Hoffman, Brian guys in the house. What's up, Brian? Good to see you. Cassie, thank you for joining us. Kayla Stevens, great to see you. We got 117 peeps in here, guys. And let me see here. Maybe. We got 58 likes. We can do better than that. Come on, you guys. Help me out here a little bit. AR Hayes, I think I saw you earlier. Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you. Kate Pruitt, good to see you, dear. Mitakuye Oi Austin, again, thank you for being here. Justice for Med, good to see you. Miss Bianca, Firefly. Awesome to have you all. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And I apologize for the emotional start to the sweet surrender. Welcome, Katie. Good to see you. I apologize, Lisa Hedrick, you as well, for the emotional start to the stream. But I just wanted to get it done and out of the way. That way, the rest of the stream can be positive and as happy as we can make it. Miss Val, good to see you. Hope Floats. Thank you for joining us. I don't think I missed anybody. Candy Girl. All right. So, how was everybody's weekend this weekend? I hope it was great. Nothing but. For anybody that got hammered with snow, I'm sorry. Good to see you, Cat K. Tiffany Tracy, welcome. Somebody else I thought I saw, but bounced past. Maybe not. Um, for those of you that got hammered with snow, I hope that it wasn't too bad. We were supposed to get it and did not yet. Hopefully, we still don't. Good to see you, Senny Kerf. Thank you for joining us. Um, Lisa Wilson. Oh, well, that's awesome, Lisa. And I'll do it as often as I possibly can. Yes, absolutely, Lisa. No problems, hon. No problems at all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. Lucia Olson, thank you for joining us today. Yeah, we were all supposed to get some snow from what I understand, and I haven't got we had flurries this morning. That was it. Lucia says we got a lot in the Sierras in Northern California. Okay. North Carolina says we got the tail end of a storm, not bad here. AR is saying it's cold in Vegas today. That's hard to believe. I did. Leslie says she got some. Good to see you. Gray Pearl, welcome. Good to have you here, dear. Real girl, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate that. Doodlebug, what are you doing? Doodle gifted a membership. That's awesome. And looks like Miss Rachel gifted that membership. Thank you for that. And welcome back to the sauce. Meatball. Loading the sauce while we spill it all over the place. Guys. Hey. Thank you for that, Doodle. God bless. We appreciate you so very much. Carolyn says I have the air conditioning on right now, so she's not very cold, I guess. Whatever makes you guys comfortable, whatever is comfortable, that's all that matters, guys. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Brandy. Another super sticker, super chat. I'm sorry. 999. Awesome. The Shack Lady's in the house. Thank you so very much, Shack Lady. I appreciate you so much for being here. K Dips has stayed. It's been a while, K Dips. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're supposed to get a bit of snow tomorrow morning here in the UK. I thought it, though. Well, I hope we don't. I agree. I told you guys before, I'm done. I want snow on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. After that, bye. I'm out. And I live in Ohio, so it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Good luck with that one, Dago. You're welcome. It's for your coffee habit. I don't have a habit now, do I? I don't know. I guess I do. Welcome, Lynn T. Thank you for joining us tonight. Again, I hope you guys are all having a great night. And please, if you will, please, please, please hit that like button on your way in the door. Leave a little bit of DNA for me, please, and YouTube because they love it as much as I do. Good to see you, Jessica Dahlgren. Thank you for joining us tonight. Leslie says we need the water here in Utah. It's snowing. It's so cold. I bet it is. Inquisitive Wolf, welcome to you. Good to see you. The weather here is cold, but we are having sunny days already. Let's hope England has a mother great summer. Amen to that one. Absolutely. I know it does, and my TikTok does. That's a fact. Check it out. Brandy takes care of that TikTok, guys, and she does a hell of a job. Doodle, thank you for that again, dear. I appreciate you very much. Absolutely, AR. If you'd like to join me, you're more than welcome, my friend. That's what it's all about, guys. Hanging out and doing what we do, guys. Just talking our faces off. There's a link right there, my friend. Join me if you'd like to. Please do. Come on down, folks. Let's do this thing. There's a link right there, brother. And again, thank you, Doodle Hunt. I appreciate you more than you know. Like I said, guys, that pays the bills. That keeps me doing this because, as most people that have any sense out here know, us YouTubers, unless we're huge YouTubers, do not make very much doing this. So the little bits that go through there definitely help, and it is very much appreciated. So thank you for that. Yeah, there's the link, buddy. Come on up here at any time if you'd like to. There's the link actually for AR Hayes and XCon's Thoughts channel too. Thank you for that, Doodle, as well. You are appreciated. You guys have to show a little bit of love over there and check out his channel too. He puts out some decent videos, guys. You won't be disappointed. Kaboom. Can you hear me, sir?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Loud and clear. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, I'm glad I'm here. Thanks for letting me join you again. Sometimes
Always.
it's easier when there's not 10 people up here talking.
Yeah, we have a tendency to kind of talk. See, and I've explained this before. What's up, Mojo? Good to see you tonight. Yes, yes. Yeah, we do have to make note of that real quick. Sorry, AR. 1 second here. The Steelers and the Browns are both in the playoffs and not wild cards. I mean, at least we're not. And it's been a long time since the Browns have made that play to get into the playoffs. So I'm excited more than you guys know.
I,
More than you
what was
know.
it? 1991 or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. Quite a
Yeah.
while.
I was going to say, it's been forever and a day.
Yeah, and then some. Great Pearl.
And
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. I don't think they would have made it if Watson was their quarterback.
We wouldn't have. We wouldn't have at
I,
all. And that's the funny
oh,
thing, you guys. I don't know for those of you that follow football. Welcome, Deborah, Deborah Lynn Polly. Thank you for joining us. And Stenny, thank you for that super chat, super sticker. I appreciate you very much. Um, we lost most of our team this season. Most of our team is listed in the injured reserve, guys. Um, and we made it to the playoffs. And they were gonna fire our coach this at the beginning of the season, and now he's up for coach of the year because we ran today's game, which we lost against the Bengals. It was very weird, but it was third and fourth string players. All of our guys are that we had left, first stringers and second, they're on the bench. They're saving them for the playoff games because we can't afford to lose anybody else. They go and pull a quarterback out of retirement that was Ubering and staying at home with his kids, and bring him onto the field, and he's like an all-star rookie quarterback, um, Joe Flacco, and it's like what? It was
yeah.
crazy.
And he never looked that good when he played for the Broncos or anybody
I
else.
was surprised to see that, like big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that very much. Another super sticker, that's absolutely amazing. God bless, and we appreciate you. Um, what did she say? Hey, Clue, what's going on? Um, she said
Clue, that
petite.
was not me. I was not on tile. She's
I,
referring to
I,
what happened on
I
Detective
don't
J.
even. I know. I still can't believe
Yeah,
that. Crazy.
well, yeah, well, that was not me. Thankfully, I didn't go that far.
No, I know it wasn't you. I know it wasn't you, buddy.
But that's all right. I'll get accused of it, but it's okay.
We've all been accused of worse. I can promise you that much.
Yeah, most definitely.
Unknown
Most
caller, what's
definitely.
going on? Let me set that up for you. So I'm gonna set this up, but so what's going on with you, AR?
Man, I had a really relaxed weekend. I'm having a hard time kind of get my mind on content. Do you ever have that issue? I know other YouTubers
All
probably
the
have the
time.
same thing,
It's
and
hard.
it's like I want to deep dive into a couple things, but they're really difficult things, like content wise, to talk about. You want to be respectful, but you want to get a point across. So you're really debating on how to do it. And
Yes,
then you
sir.
just kind of you take a break from it altogether. It's like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna just,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Um,
you know,
it's
and that's
easy. It's easy to get lost. Oh shoot. Hold on one second. It's easy
okay.
to get lost when it comes to that, but don't feel bad. It's normal.
He disappeared on us, everybody. He is now in the darkness. Hopefully, everybody out there is having a great night. Clue, it's great to see you. The Shack Lady, great to see you. Brian, always amazing to see you. Deborah, thanks for the shout out. Doodlebug, you're in the wife's and I's heart. We love you. Definitely send you big hugs. I'm seeing all kinds of names going by here real quick. Hey, Senny, great to see you. Teresa, thank you again. Caroline Miller, great to see you as well. Hope Floats, I feel like I'm acting as if I am. Dago. Yep, Sunny, Jen is working until midnight tonight. So I'm taking care of the dogs. Brandy, great to see you. Doing well. Dago, you doing okay over there, my friend?
Yeah, I'm here. I just had to pull something up. One second. Sorry about that. My computer's acting
Eh,
a little funky.
I tried to get on mine today too, and it yelled at me and said, "Hey, dude, you're not supposed to be on this thing."
Right. Yeah. Terry Martin, good to
So,
see you. Oh, hey, Mr. Jackson, my friend, what's happening? How are you tonight?
What's going on?
What is going on? Um, Hold on a minute here. Okay, that is set up. We will be set up here to take calls in just a few minutes as well. Yeah, it's been a weird weekend, I guess you could say. It's been kind of quiet. Um, Other than, the bad news that I got yesterday. Um, which I spoke on here just a few minutes ago. Um, and then of course the football. That was a little bit of bad news, but good news at the same time because it didn't matter whether we won or lost that game. We were still going, so I was excited about that. Heather B, good to see you, dear. Are you familiar with the Laney Gwinner case out of Fairfield, Ohio, Butler County? It's from the last name Gwinner. I've heard that, Heather. I will definitely look into it for sure. All
I
right.
think s- I think someone sent me an email about that one as well. Not
That's
real sure
possible.
though.
I get a lot of the um, cold case emails and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
Alan, good to see you.
And I have to apologize to a lot of people because I'm not very tech savvy. So when I get 100 to 200 emails, I can make it through a handful of them before I start pulling my hair out and getting lost and trying to figure it out again. So if
I
I
get,
don't get back, to everybody right away, I will get back to you. I promise.
I try.
Just, you
It's
know,
a, it's listen, dude. I get it. I get 1,500 to 2,000, 2,200 a week in emails,
yep,
and
yep.
you can't ever get through all of them. I try to. I've tried to respond to them. I get phone messages voice call messages from this line here that I'm about to open up, all of that. It's hard to get back to all of it. So please, 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 guys, don't ever take it personal. There's just so much. And then I'm living real life at the same time. And I forget things sometimes. I have a very bad short-term memory issue because of this scar, obviously. And I'm working
I
through
mean,
that. So,
I that's kind of my problem too, and I hate it to admit to it. It's like so many things pile up through the day, and I'm still adjusting to actually living real life to where I have responsibility outside just waking up and making my bunk in the cell. And actually do real things in life. So sometimes I tend to overlook a few things. And
right.
unfortunately, a lot of times that's like my Facebook group. I don't interact as much as I should be, or my emails. I don't respond as much as I should, or
Oh,
and
yeah.
at the end of the day, I feel bad when I
And
do
you forget.
finally sit down. My wife says, "Hey, did you respond to?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I can't believe I
Right.
didn't do that." And then I try to get caught back up. But so I
Right.
get a lot of people reaching out in regards to opinions about cases, and I really want to talk about them all.
Yeah.
And they,
We do.
when you run a channel, you're trying to dictate how much time can you spend on each thing you want to talk about, and you do your best. That's
Yes.
for sure. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
um,
yes,
I
Brandy, I
want to
think go ahead, buddy.
go ahead. I want to
I
be
was
more well rounded. But then it's hard to do that too because I mean it is like a job. People need to understand that. I'm not one of those people out there that say, "Well, I don't do it, you know, unmonetized." I am monetized, so I have to meet criteria
mm-hmm.
for YouTube to pay me, and that's what I rely on is YouTube ads and the views.
Right.
Um,
And they
you
don't they
know,
don't pay very much unless you have 200,000 viewers or 200,000 followers, you know what I mean? We get very
yeah,
little, and that's why I use the other, and that's been forever. Like, Dan's been around from the beginning. I know everybody hates to hear this, but he has, and he knows. Oh, hold on a second. I guess we got one anyway. Hello?
is there somebody on the line with us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
there
There
it
he is.
is.
Welcome, Neil. You're live with the Dago AR and Mr. Dan Jackson. How are you tonight, sir? Can you hear me okay? I hear you wonderfully. Can everybody else hear okay?
Yeah, I'm not hearing him at all.
Mm,
Yeah, I can't hear him at all either.
hold on. I don't know why this does this. Can you hear me, Neil? Okay. He's got a very soft spoken voice. Let me try something here. It should be coming in. Let's try it this way and see what happens. Nope, not yet. Hold on. Let me try that again. Let's go. Is that any better
I
for all the rest of you guys?
Yeah, I'm still not hearing anything.
Okay, let me
yeah, I
see if
don't.
this works. Hold on a second, Neil. Let's try this. Internal. All right. All right. Go ahead and try. Say something now. Nothing.
No.
Okay. Hold on. Let's go this way then. Boom and boom. All right. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
How about you guys?
Now I hear him.
Yeah, I
Okay.
hear him now.
All right. Let's do that then. There we go. That's better. All right.
Um,
Everybody can hear you well now, sir. So what's going on tonight, Neil?
well, I'm a follower of yours, Dago, and I appreciate you taking my phone call. I wanted to talk about something just for a few minutes about a topic that has not been brought up a lot on the Idaho case.
Okay. Absolutely.
So first of all, is anybody on panel here familiar with leather working or leather goods or merchandise?
I can't
am
say
not.
I am.
match with
Yeah.
or agree and disagree. I'm not calling to have any kind of argument. I'm only want to just give you some facts that I know about leather sheaths.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine, sir. No problem. Whatever it was. I'm not real familiar with leatherworking, me personally.
You could probably
Okay.
teach me
So
something.
I'm not talking about the tool here, whether it's a handgun or a
material,
knife or anything else.
you mean like the material that they make the sheath and stuff out of?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
So if a sheath was found at that scene, it could be pulled off of a belt. That's what I want to bring up.
Okay.
It could very well have been pulled off of a belt. All right.
So you're saying, and I know that what I'm going to show here is different than probably what was used in that case, but we're talking about one of these, you guys. It's a little different than that one. Okay. The one that they had was the sheath, and then the flap was on top and it snapped down like that up here. Okay. But this is a sheath.
Right. Okay. So turn it to its back. Show us the back of it, Dago.
Okay.
You see those rivets? Those
Right.
two rivets?
Right.
That is a very fragile joint.
Okay.
Unless you're carrying a high quality holster or sheath
Right.
for Safariland or any other high quality item, that what you're holding right there will be snatched off of a belt simply from body weight with a firm grasp.
Okay.
And in my opinion, that's a fact.
Okay.
Because I make those. I make handgun holsters. I make wallets, all kind of leatherworking. Now the stitching is stronger than the rivets.
Right.
But okay, so you got three ways that the sheath could be made, depending on what year, what model you bought from for a weapon. Okay, the one you have is riveted, which is very weak.
Okay.
Okay, there's a second way that is it's stitched across there where those rivets are. That's a whole lot stronger.
Yeah.
And then the third way is the entire loop is a part of the sheath where there is no joint in the leather.
Cut out right there, and it's part of that whole piece.
Right. Well, the third way, the most strong way, is that fold would go all the way and be a part of the sheath, and there would be no stitches or rivets or anything.
Got you. I think I've seen those. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's three options there, and depending on the thickness of the leather, the millimeter,
Mm-hmm.
goes a long way. In
Right.
other words, if you buy a cheapo knife from a big box store,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna tear it up pretty easy.
Right.
But if you have the leather incorporated into itself as part of the sheath, that's the strongest you can get with the strongest leather. You think about saddle leather or the bottom of shoes, thick leather.
Right.
You couldn't tear that. Okay, you couldn't rip that.
See, that's what this kind of reminds me of, Neil, is like saddle leather. It's real thick and like it has the same feel and smell to it.
Right. I understand it's all cattle leather, but those rivets is your weak point. That's your fail.
Right here.
I thought the Marine
was at the scene.
I thought the Marine issued K-bar sheath is one.
Hold on.
The sheath that if it ever comes out that the sheath found was very robust and it was not torn, then I'm, I have no opinion. Okay.
Gotcha.
But if it was disassembled or torn, then I want to put that out to your community because I hadn't heard that talked about a lot.
Okay. And I appreciate that. I'm sure everybody does.
Yeah.
You're right. It hasn't been talked about a whole lot.
Right. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, no problem. AR wants to add something to that, Neil. I guess he's got a question with that. Go ahead, AR.
Neil, the only thing that I know, because my father was in the Marines, is that K-bar knife sheath is one solid piece of leather. There is no rivets in a K-bar knife sheath issued by the military. It's one continuous piece. So those rivets, Dago, that you pointed out on the back, the 2 rivets that are considered to be the weak points in the sheath,
right?
Those are not there. It is one continuous piece of leather that creates that belt loop.
Right, and I think on that one, it's got a snap up here on the handle that, like right here, and it snaps
wraps around.
Yeah, that's or around here, like around it. Yeah, that's
it goes
like
sideways like so. So there's actually just one solid piece of leather. I get what he's saying, and it makes absolute sense to have those rivets in there that would create weakness in that, and it makes 100% sense what he's saying. However, I also know by holding the exact knife sheath, it is one continuous piece of leather.
Yeah, the way I've seen it, you're right. It's one huge piece, and then it's got the little snap thing, the little band that goes around here, and that's where this snap is up here, and it holds the knife into the sheath that way. So yeah, I agree.
Right. So I mean, I can understand how you could rip the knife out of the sheath, but if the knife is already out of the sheath, that's where the people discussing how hard to pull it off the belt would be. Now, I'm not saying it can't be. Trust me, I don't know. I've never been in that type of struggle. I wouldn't know. I'm not an expert. I'm just making a point of how I actually know the kind of way the sheath is. That's all.
So you guys know this is not a K-bar. This is something I've had for a long time. This is definitely not a K-bar knife. This is completely different. I just used this to show for demonstration reasons about a knife and a sheath. That's all. But Neil, thank you. I appreciate your call and your info on that very much, Neil. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, most definitely. Not many people have talked about that.
And I don't have an opinion either way because I'm not going to be presumptuous. But I'm the only telling you what I know about leather and how it's put together.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you.
Like you said, Neil, that has not been talked about a whole lot at all.
Yep.
I agree. Yeah. So thank you for letting me put that into your show.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. And please call again anytime.
Yep. Much appreciated. Thank you.
You too. Have a great night, sir.
And that's a great concept, Dago, that a lot of people have not talked to, including myself. Here I am deep diving into all these videos and talking about things. And I can't say the knife sheath didn't come off of the belt at the crime scene. I don't know. It very well could have.
We have talked a little bit about it, not a lot, but like we talked about the fact that it could have been yanked and pulled hard enough to yank a belt loop off too. And therefore, both sides out possibly, and it pulls that way. The belt could have snapped, depending on what type of belt it was. It could have been in somebody's pocket, and it was pulled out that way. I mean, there's multiple variations as to what it could have been. Yeah,
and to not even really be funny about it, but it's kind of a serious thing. I have some pants that are a little bit older pants where the belt loops are a little bit worn, and I guarantee you, if these were the pants I chose, I don't want to ruin a good pair of pants to do this. I'm going to wear my old pair of black pants.
Yeah.
Well, that belt loop could literally rip off a part of my pants because they're old and they're just kind of worn. And it just is what it is. And with the whole craziness of everything about this case, who the hell knows? I mean, who knows?
I agree.
And
I do agree.
If somebody came to me and says, "Hey, look, man, we found a pair of pants up the street in a dumpster and the belt loop was ripped," it would make sense to me. I would say,
Mhm.
hey, well, that kind of makes sense. That would kind of
Absolutely.
put those pants at the scene. I could agree to that
Yes, sir.
100%.
I agree
You know,
too.
Uh,
Unknown caller. Yeah, if you were ready to call in now, you can go ahead and try to make that call now, my friend. Whenever you're ready. Also, Dan, welcome to the panel, sir. Again, I'm sorry I don't get to do that often, but good to see you, sir.
Yeah, I didn't know what you guys were talking about tonight.
Just whatever.
I
It's
won't be doing a lot of talking because I mean, the only thing I can say about, I mean, I have seen like the military issued like sheaths have rivets down the sides.
Mhm.
I've never seen one that's got the rivets that hold the belt, like the kind of belt loop type thing at the top.
Yeah,
That
yeah. The K
like
bar is made, like I said, the K bar knife is weird because it's a solid sheath and it comes all the way down, and then at the very top there's a strap that goes around because the whole it's one whole
right.
piece, okay?
Yeah, like see how yours has the two rivets there at the back.
Yeah.
I've never seen that on like a military issued.
No, 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 no. And this is
But
made.
where the
Oh my
stitching
god.
is uh where the stitching is vertical, I have seen them where they've had like three stitches or three rivets on each side of that. But
Right,
and
right.
what he was, I mean,
Well,
without the rivets, what he was just saying just a second ago, I mean, I think even on a brand new pair of jeans, a belt loop's going to give away before them,
well, and that's what I was yanking on this to show. Like this is strong, okay? And these are double riveted inside of that thing. So I don't know. It depends on which basis of leather or type of leather. Like he said, this smells just like saddle leather to me. It's the same damn thing to me, and it feels like it too. So I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. Heather, are you live with us now? Welcome. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
we can't hear her again.
yeah, I can't hear.
Hold on. Let me fix this. I have to do this every time now. 1 second. Yeah, boom, 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 and boom. All right, there you go. Can you guys hear her now? Go ahead, Heather.
So, I just want to say hi to Clue. I love your channel, Clue, and I can't hear you, Dago.
I'm right here. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Can you guys hear her
So,
okay?
Yes.
All right, good deal. Go ahead, Heather. I'm sorry.
oh, no problem. So I'm confused about a lot of things. I go back and forth every single day. It's frustrating. Am I allowed to ask about the the Brent Kopaka connection and what the theory is around that? Because
You can ask
I
whatever you
don't.
want very much, dear. I think me personally that those are two different cases. They're both bad, but yeah, you can ask whatever you want, hon. Please.
So just by watching, I think it was Bubbly Waters
Mhm.
this morning, she has a theory which I was having trouble finding or following along with. And so I don't know what the connection is there that people are trying to make.
Okay. A lot of people have come to me with that same. Thank you, Justice. With that same problem. Okay. I don't. Me personally, this is just me, and this doesn't mean it's fact, fiction, or whatever, folks. I don't think that the Kopaka case is involved in the Idaho 4 case at all. I think it's two separate cases, as I stated. I think it was just a uh, profound circumstance that it just so happened to happen along with this. And I'm not saying what I'm saying is right. I think it was just because um the timing that's yeah, right there. What Clue just said. I personally don't see a connection, but the timing makes it look weird, right? And I think that the law enforcement that was involved in the Kopaka situation was kind of unnerved because of the Idaho situation and treated that situation differently than they would have if Idaho would have never happened. I don't think that the Kopaka situation would have ever been brought into this. That's just my scenario, my thought process with it. Okay, I think it was just a combination of a lot of stuff going on at the same time, and I think that they involve, and I could be wrong, okay, but I think that's how this got overwhelmingly added on to this case in that sense. That's my opinion, though.
Well, I appreciate your opinion because I cannot hold any more information in my brain about this case.
Right.
And anything else that gets thrown at me, I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. And so I just wanted to call in and get some clarification on that or opinions because I just cannot make
Sure.
that connection on a surface level. And I don't have the time to go back and wrap my head around that theory. So I just wanted to ask you about that. And then if I could, does anyone else think that the hybrid car, that the undercover, and I say that with air quotes,
Hmm.
could be the one that was making all the 3-point turns and stuff, like just patrolling around? Because for me, I find it hard to make out the model of the car. If I had to look at that video without the special software and all that to make it more prominent in the videos, I could see it being the hybrid car that we saw at Banfield, and also I don't really care what people say about Drip Drop. I think he brings out facts and theories that make you think, but he did an overlay about the hybrid the other day, and it makes way more, it fits more than the Elantra to me.
Yeah. Oh, no, no.
So,
It is. Listen, I did a few. I've done a lot of shows on this case. I don't know how long you have followed me, Heather, but there's been a lot of shows, like probably 200 and I think it was 249 different shows on this case. And I covered that car. I covered the Banfield scenarios. I covered the Linda Lane stuff with the different variations of cars. We did overlays on the car as well. And we did multiple overlays on that, the undercover car, I guess we could call it the hybrid car. And you're right. It fits into very different models. You are absolutely right. There's a lot of people in here that definitely are saying that that's a possibility, and it's fact. It really is. You know, if anything is a possibility, and I've said this from the very beginning. I have a little imaginary table that I have out in front of me when I talk about this case, and there's all sorts of everything laying on this table, and I've taken nothing off this table yet because there's been no reason to. Other than the things that I've pulled from the PCA and the things that have been put in our face, and they've said, this is it. Undeniably, this is what this is. Those things I'll take off table because those things I know I can trust. But at this point, um, there's nothing else. Anything is a possibility in my mind because we don't know anything, guys. And Heather, I mean, we don't really actually truly know anything and won't, in my opinion, until that trial comes to be what it is. Okay. Um,
yeah,
and that's when I
I
think that
agree.
those things are going to come into play 100%. Congrats and thank you, Draw, for becoming a member. We appreciate you very much. Um, and so that's where I'm very, 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 as I know many, many people are, anxiously waiting.
If I could even maybe interject just for one
No.
second.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Who
Please.
is ever even
Oh,
confirmed the
yeah, I
Linda Lane
just, know,
footage of that white
I don't want
car
to leave
is actually
that
been connected?
mind about it. And all I gotta say is the state better come out, come in hot with their putting statements to totally convince me. And to be honest, if we were the jury and we were handed this case right now,
Hmm.
there's no way just the group, the people in chat, if we were all the jury and we were handed this over right now, I personally, I couldn't convict this guy.
I agree. And I don't know. Can you hear AR, Heather?
I cannot.
Okay, he was getting ready to say something. That's what I think it is. There's an overlap with that. Um, Go ahead and hold on, Heather. Say something, AR, and then Heather, tell me if you hear him.
I was just going to talk about the footage on the car.
No,
Did you hear me?
You don't hear that. Okay, that's weird. I don't
no.
understand that. Okay. I don't know why that does that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Why this doesn't go both
But
ways.
hi, AR. I just respect you so much, and just was totally taken with your show and your honesty from jump. So I love you guys, and you have a lovely wife, and I wish you the best of luck.
Tell her big thank you from us, and
He
truly
says thank you
appreciate it.
from him and Jen both. Thank you. They very much appreciate it. I'm sorry that you guys can't hear each other. That's something I'm gonna have to figure out to work through. My apologies, folks. And Clue says that she agrees with AR, but at the same time that the police haven't said that it's fake or not related. That's a good point. A very good point.
Right. So what needs
Yeah,
to
there's
be
so many unknowns, and I just I don't know. It's going to take a lot to convince me at this point.
I
So
agree. I agree.
I appreciate all of your input. I actually found you through DJ's channel. I found all of you. He's a feeder channel, in my opinion, because I was searching up WSU Kim one day and he popped up,
Hmm.
and I was just like, what is this guy doing? And he was talking about y'all, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go over there. And then I found y'all, and it's just, I just, it's such a great community. And now that you all have come together with these live panels, I mean, I stay up for hours and watch, and
So do
it's
we.
just,
So do we. Yes.
it's so refreshing to have different points of view and everyone collaborating. It just, I honestly hope that the defense is smart enough to get on and watch this stuff, because
I
I
I
just,
I would like to believe there's enough of us out here. I would like to believe that they have watched some of our stuff. I don't want to believe that they watch me specifically, but there's a lot of other creators that do talk about this. So I would like to believe that they have watched some of what we cover on these cases. I do believe that.
yeah, I mean, they talk about, oh, armchair detectives or sleuths. Well, there's a lot to be gleaned from the things that are talked about in these panels,
Mm.
So, but yeah, that's it. And thank you for having me. It's nice to talk to you personally. I love all you guys, and I'm anxious to see what comes out of this. So,
Yes, ma'am. And I
thank
appreciate
you.
you calling in. Please know that anytime I have the phone lines open when I'm live, you are more than welcome to call in with any questions, thoughts, theories, or anything that you have. Please, and I appreciate you being part of this community. And thank you. You said that you found us through DJ's channel, which is odd, but I appreciate that very much. And
It
I,
was
I
one of his first episodes where he was like, did the list, and I'm like, okay, if you're calling these people out, then there's got to be something there. And so I found Clue first, because, and then when I heard Clue's show, oh my God, it was rolling. And but
same here.
they are so intelligent that, and Cletus, or fiance, I prefer fiance, but
I get it.
anyhow,
Get it.
did I do something wrong? Because unknown caller in the chat said that I
No,
should.
no. You're fine. I know he's just trying to call in too, or she. I'm sorry. You're okay. You're
Uh,
Oh,
perfectly fine. Don't worry
okay.
about it.
It said safety first, so I didn't know if I did something wrong.
No,
This
no,
is
no.
my first time.
Nope, you're fine.
All right. Well, everyone have a good night. I'm gonna hang up and keep watching. And I'm so surprised. I'm from Ohio,
Oh,
Dago, and
wonderful.
I grew up in the jungle. You know what I'm saying, with Icky
Mm-hmm.
Woods and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe the Browns are doing as well as they are.
Yes, I know.
Congratulations. I'm just
Absolutely. I am
blown
super,
away.
super excited. I appreciate that. And thank you again, Heather, for calling in. Thank you for being part of this community. We appreciate you. And please know I'm looking forward to hearing from you again soon. Okay.
You bet, Dago. Good night, everybody.
Have a great
Have a
night.
great night. Yep.
All right, you too.
Awesome caller. Thank you, Heather, so very much. Appreciate it. All right.
I'm gonna jump down before you get the next caller. Just
Okay. Sorry, Dan.
I mean, if you guys, yeah, I mean, I don't want to just sit here just take.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know which direction the conversation will go within the next 20 minutes. So if you hear something you want to jump into, you know that you're always welcome to jump up here.
Right. But I did have one question before I jumped down, just because I heard a name dropped that.
Yeah.
So I heard her say Drip Drop. Is that the same Drip Drop that like wears the clown makeup? And
Yes, that is him.
okay. I didn't
Crime
know he
Circus.
did. I've watched his this kind of like interrogation videos.
Yeah.
But I've never watched. I didn't know that he did anything other than that.
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot of stuff, dude. He's got 2 channels actually, Crime Circus Cult. And he talks about, I mean, it's all revolving around crime of some sort, but he does the interrogation stuff, and then he does like theory videos. He doesn't do like the commentary like I do, but he'll do like pre-recorded stuff where he talks about his thoughts and theories on things, and then that's how he does it. So
He's very research based. Like he's very highly intelligent, and he knows what he's talking about based off of research. I have a lot of respect for him.
I like everything that I've seen that I watch at him, but I mean, personal opinion, I find his intro a little cringy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to clear that up because I heard her say Drip Drop, and I'm like, wonder if it's the same Drip Drop that I used to
see. Yeah, it's the same guy, 100%. He's out here too with us.
All right, well, good. If I catch you guys chatting about music or movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever like I said, when I do these late night things, they can go whatever direction they go, and I just kind of take the lead and let people go with it, whatever they do. And so yeah, if you hear something you want to jump into, pop right back in. You always have an open invitation, buddy.
All right, you guys take care.
All right, nice meeting you as well.
Yep, you too. Later.
Have a great night.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Heather, for calling in. Thank you for the first caller. Neil, appreciate you too. And like I said, the phone lines are open for anybody that wants to call in, and I will work that out, guys, to get that working so everybody can hear each other.
Do you know who the whatever it's called is? Whoever's this one's that's wanting to call, the unnamed or
no, I don't. It'll come through when it comes through. But
unknown caller. It's just I've seen some weird stuff in the chat. I'm kind of, let's see who it is when they come up.
Yeah,
I think you and I may get a surprise, which is fine. I mean, we're open to surprises. So
when they call in, it's a little different than actually coming on panel like you are. Luckily, it's just a call.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Miss Terry's in the house. Good to see you, dear.
And Heather, I've actually had her on my channel comment a few times. She's a great mind, and I can understand what she's saying about the mind just being so full. But a lot of us have to remember too, because we've seen and talked so much about the Linda Lane stuff, and I'm one that actually has avoided talking about it. I'm not a big fan of a lot of it. I don't say it's incorrect or wrong because I don't know. I just myself haven't focused on that. But I've also just kind of waited to see, because we haven't seen anything other than the supposed leaked vehicle or video that's supposedly leaked by somebody, and we don't know who. It's not confirmed. And I'm not a technological person, but I've watched my wife manipulate videos and change them. So, sometimes I have questions until I really know what's behind it. You know what I mean? So, are you with me?
Absolutely.
Hello?
But I absolutely agree. To answer this question, Inquisitive says, I have a question. Why is 1122 King Road called such when it looks like on the map it's 1122 Queen? And I get that. That's been a question that we've had from day one. I can't answer that, my friend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a very weird situation the way that is set up. And we've all
He
kind of
was asking about that weird address situation.
yes,
Was that?
yes.
Yeah, I don't even know if anybody could ever explain that, including the people that live there. I mean, I don't
I
know.
agree. I don't know.
It's just very
I do
odd.
not know. Blah, blah, what are your thoughts about Chaos Sector's video about I don't know. I didn't see that one, Terry. And I
I
don't like to get in the middle of other creators' issues. As you all know, I have my own that I get to deal with on a regular basis. So I try to avoid the other,
I
I respect all creators, guys, because of the work that they do, the work that they put in, the time that they take, regardless of whether I agree with what they're saying. I still respect them for what they do. Either way. So I can't really comment on that because I don't know much about that. I haven't even watched that version of that yet. So
And
um
I'll be honest with you too, because of everything going around, I've stayed more focused in my own lane, in my own work, in my own research.
right.
I haven't watched a lot of other creators' content. It's not that I don't respect them. I love a lot of their work and I think they have great minds. But I've just kind of had to swerve back into my own lane and focus on trying to keep my mind in a certain path and the direction I'm trying to go. And that's why I just, I'm not going to come out very much anymore and speak upon other creators' work or their videos. And it's just
Mhm.
probably safer for many of us to go that route.
Right. And
you know
Draw is right with this. There's one thing we did touch on way back Inquisitive, and that kind of maybe could answer your question. The original layout of the house. We all know there was an addition put on and built up in the back and then up. Okay. So that back sliding door, based on what I understand and what I know, is where the front of the house was at one point, and the back, which or the front, was the back. There was a garage there. I've seen the pictures of it. And so that was the back, and the slider door, which I'm imagining may have had a walkway or an entrance possibly to the front there at some point, would have been the front of the house, I'm guessing. I may be wrong, okay? Before that addition was added throughout the back there, so that would face maybe in that direction. I don't know. I'm gonna guess, and somebody else here said it too just a second ago. I'm trying to find where that comment went about the mailbox. Neil, in his opinion, the mailbox location dictates the road address, and I agree with that. So that's why I believe initially when the house was first put up and was put on the mailing route and so on and so forth, that was why that house ended up having that original address. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, and if I am, my deepest apologies. But I'm giving it a educated guess. So,
and
uh,
that's a guess that actually makes pretty darn good sense to me, because in a little bit of research I've done, I remember the garage in the where the front door is, and or on that side of the house at least.
yeah, yeah. I
So
think they
I
changed
and
all that up when they put the addition on, and I think that completely flip flopped the house around.
I
Um,
agree. I do agree. And like you said, I mean, it's an opinionated guess by both of us, but I'm agreeing with yours, and it makes more sense than what a lot of people else have said.
mhm,
So
I agree. And Leslie says, Dago and AR, do you guys know anything about the Super Falcon that Green brought into it? No, I don't. I have no
the
idea.
super
I guess it's a
Falcon.
supercomputer. I've never heard of that.
Um,
Bombshell said something about that. Here we go. I just answered
I
originally. It was one chunk of land lot, and it was addressed to King Road. Okay. Well, there we go. Thank you, Bombshell. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, unknown caller. If you want to call, go ahead and call. If you don't, no worries. Or if you're just trolling, that's up to you. But it's not going to go anywhere.
yeah. Good luck with that.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I hope that helped to answer in any ways. Obviously, Dago, you need to go to the website and read all the articles. It's scary. Okay, I will check that out, Leslie, for sure. The green thing. Okay, I got you.
Say it again. What's it called, Dago?
It is. Hold on, let me back up here just to give it to everybody because I will look it up. That's not a
Yeah,
lie.
I'm gonna look it up right now while we're talking.
It's called the Super Falcon, and that's what the Mr. Green, the president for the university, bought. It's a supercomputer. Super Falcon.
I,
Okay, let me write
so
this down.
it's not like tied
I don't think
to.
so.
I mean, I see the actual. They have a species of falcon in Idaho.
You're right.
And
No.
that's
It's a
what popped up.
supercomputer.
Yeah, so I got to back. I mean, if we're
Okay.
talking
Yeah, we got that now.
supercomputers, I'm probably an idiot when it comes to anything computer, but I am typing on one right now, believe it or not. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
What's up, Fantastic? Oh, wait a minute.
Falcon supercomputing system recognizes one of the something.
Phantasmic ether.
I
One
have
of
to
my
do that.
favorite people. That's one of my
Yes.
favorite people of all time.
She's awesome.
Fant-
She's awesome.
yeah, Phantasmic. It is always good to hear from you and see you. One of the top
Boy.
supercomputer systems in operation of the man. That thing is massive. Holy cow.
Mhm.
That's bigger than the cell I lived in for years. 9 years.
Wow. Inquisitive says, thanks for creating an environment where we can all talk and ask questions and share information. Some channel. Well, absolutely. That's what it's all about here. I've always thought that, we should be able to do things like that. Okay, I got a call coming in. Give me one moment.
25,000 cores, 122 terabytes of memory.
All right, caller, can you hear me?
Wow.
Hello, caller, can you hear me? Okay, then. I guess they didn't want to talk. So be
Yeah, I
it.
can't hear him. Can you? There you go. It says it has 25,000 cores, 122 terabytes of memory, supports the needs of over 400 users at one time. Obviously, it's used by National University, DOE labs, and industry partners.
Good God.
God, that thing is unreal. 3,700 square foot data center houses the Falcon. And that thing has got to be unreal. Like I would be too afraid. That makes me think of that movie that's got Tom Cruise in it, where he's always trying to steal, like get in and out of these buildings. They're like
Yeah,
massively,
Mission Impossible. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Just like just thinking about that, that would be something they're trying to get in there and get the core of it or something out of there.
Right.
You know, and I don't know. That just sounds dumb, but hey, I laid around and watched a lot of movies.
No, I get it. I do get it. Let me see something
So
here.
she said, read more because it's going to give you more about the school info.
All right,
And
here we go. This is what I got for it. Falcon supercomputer now available to U of I researchers. The supercomputer is housed at the Idaho National Laboratory Collaborative Computer Center, a high performance computing facility that supports research collaboration and opportunities for INL and Idaho Public University. Falcon is now managed and operated by a collaboration between INL, U of I, Boise State, and Idaho State University. U of I leads the partnership responsible for the management and upkeep of Falcon. Having this incredible asset available for, can you still hear me, AR, for use?
I'm here.
All right, I didn't know if you could see that either. The Falcon supercomputer puts Idaho academic high performance computing on the map. Let me see if there's anything here. At the University of Computer Modeling of Complex Problems is cyber expertise. Okay, there's all the cores of, okay. So, Battelle Energy Alliance manages INL for the U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Nuclear Energy. INL is the nation's center for nuclear energy research and development. and also performs research in each of DOE's strategic goal areas: energy, national security, science, and the environment. For more information, visit blah, 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 blah. The University of Idaho, home of the Vandals, is the Idaho's land grant national research university from, okay, 42 countries. Well, yeah, we know that. That's interesting that it has, good lord, 35,000 total cores available with 972 compute nodes, each containing 36 cores, 128 gigabyte RAM. This gives the system a theoretical peak. Holy shit. A
Yeah, that
theoretical peak of 1.17 petaflops. 1.17 times 1015 floating point calculations per second. A new high-speed network file system with 1.3 petabytes of usable capacity was purchased by U of I to support Falcon. Holy shit.
I mean, do all universities have something like this, or is this just something that's going to be at certain
I've
universities?
never heard of this before, dude. Never.
I mean, it seems pretty
I mean,
massive for that university. That's not the most,
that's what I
you
was
know.
gonna say, Clue. The whole petaflop thing, isn't that like an illegal scenario? I don't know
You
a lot
got
about this stuff, guys, but I'm just saying I've heard things like okay, Draw just sent me a link on Falcon and Green. This is interesting, you guys. Using Falcon for nuclear salts. Using Falcon to simulate geothermal energy. Falcon Supercomputer Workshop Gen. Whoa.
Clue says no, Dago. That's the pedophile.
Oh,
Clue,
okay.
Clue always has something.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Sherry said, keep trusting your government. Falcon helps to create 3D models of water flow through sediment, simulating colliding black holes using the Falcon and Falcon supercomputer, now available to U of I researchers. Wow. That's a lot. It's a lot. Are you taking off,
Yeah.
Duke?
What's that?
What did Duke have to say up here? I'm sorry if I didn't see it. Hold on a minute.
Oh.
Where did Duke say up here? 1 second. I want to make sure I'm not missing the comments. I must be. I can't see it for some reason.
Duke says I can't call in. I'm on the road. I will tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Just got back from okay. He just
Yeah.
got back from Moscow. No one thinks Koberger did this in Moscow, and a person told me that Kaylee called Jack D so many times because Adam and Jack D. Oh, okay then. Interesting.
You know, and I was gonna ask. I've never really even talked about, because maybe I don't firmly grasp what actually happened. Like, I do a lot of diving into the case, and for some reason, I haven't really jumped onto the whole idea. Didn't the security system go down the night of the crime? Like, for the University of Idaho,
It was the Wi-Fi that supposedly went down.
for the university.
No, for the yeah, you're right. For the university, the
Okay.
campus itself. So I wouldn't have I wouldn't have thought that that would have affected that area because that house is not on campus. That's what you know what I
Right.
mean?
No, and I was just trying to like piece together my thoughts about it, because I asked my wife the other day. I said, for some reason, I haven't pieced this together. I've had people tell me it was the security for the campus went down, and other people have said no, it was just the actual internet. The Wi-Fi went down. Um, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. Just making sure.
No, you're
Um,
fine. You're fine.
so it's like I got kind of mind boggled there, and when I started to try to piece together a video I was doing, I literally got stuck on just that and had to back out of doing that video because it wasn't making sense to me of what I, because even people said, well, he was with the security guard when it went down. So it's like, oh man, I'm confused. I'm
Right,
just
right.
confused.
Thank you for that input, Duke. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. And they may have a physics program though, which would be using this. I would imagine, yeah. And I'm trying to get to what did you send that to me draw through email or another way? Duke says it again. Dago missed it. I'm looking up here. I'm trying to catch it. Hold on. Yes, I was told by someone who was working at the corner club. Yeah, I saw that. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I would be interested to hear that story. That's interesting for sure. But
I
again, third person info is hard to vet. It's very hard.
I'd
But
love
again,
to just listen to it, just to kind of get a grip on, you know what I
yes,
mean?
yeah, that's what
What's
I'm
being
saying. I would
said.
love to have a conversation with Duke based on the conversations he had. So, I don't
And,
know.
and you know, I would never actually even put it out there. I'm sure Dago, you wouldn't either, as anything other than
Not
our
unless we have any kind of
right. We
concrete.
would have to actually find something to back it that is
Oh yeah,
confirmable.
that's
But
the whole point right there.
I mean, I love hearing people speak, even if it's theory based, if it's opinion based. I just want to hear it because what it does is it helps me formulate my own thoughts on things that I've researched to even maybe rule out some of the things I've researched as make believe
Mhm.
or some things as good.
Agree.
You just
Yeah.
never know. But I just know the majority of what I speak about is thoughts. Like I'm sure you do it too. All of us do it. We lay there and we start with this initial thought, and then our mind keeps going. Next thing you know, we're 4.5 hours later into the night, still not asleep, and you're still picking it apart. And those are the types of things that
Mhm.
listening to other people speak upon things, answer little questions within my thoughts as I go, that I can trim some of it out and go, now I see why that doesn't make sense. Or
Sure.
man, that really does actually make sense, and I can move forward. So,
Yes, yes. Okay, draw.
you
Let
know,
me pull that. I'll pull it up via the email. 1 second here. I'm sorry. Yeah, this whole computer thing is really kind of interesting, to be honest with you. All right, let
I
me
mean, it
pull.
looks like an amazing thing. I'm just the wrong person to look at that type of stuff because I
Yes,
wouldn't even know what the heck I was
I
looking
have
at.
no idea
So,
either. I do
you
agree with
know,
you on that one.
you know.
All right, let me see here. Give me 1 second. Boom, there it is, Miss Latina. Okay.
And Willie, I'm right there with you. If somebody could literally show me the same car for a totality of 12 visits to the area around the home, then maybe in my mind I could say they know he stalked the house 12 times. But it's got to literally be right next to the home, same car confirmed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't just tell me this story based off of your little ping dings off of the phones and this or no, show me actually legitimately how you get that, and then I'll open my mind to hearing that there was, some sort of stalking or something going on in the area. Because trust me, I've been in the same area 12 times, pinging off the same phone thing. And I'm sure a crime's happened in that area at some point in time I was there, and it wasn't me. So prove this
Mm-hmm.
stuff,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
prove it.
So,
So
all right. Thank you for this article draw. So, Falcon supercomputer now available to U of I researchers. December 16th of 2022, published December 17th, Moscow, Idaho. Falcon, a supercomputer offering more than 10 times the processing power of any academic cluster in the region, is now available for use by University Idaho faculty, staff, and student researchers. U of I is one of 3 universities that gained access to Falcon in April. The supercomputer is housed at the Idaho National Laboratory. We talked about that, of course. Falcon is now managed and operated by, we talked about that too. Okay.
so think about this, Dago. Clue pointed this out. Not to I have to interrupt you because it's amazing what Clue pointed out. The prosecution evidently handed over one half the amount of terabytes of information as that big machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
51
I
terabytes. That's right.
I'm sorry. I call BS. I call BS.
And
There's
just
no way.
saying,
No
uh,
way.
when it was initially deployed in 2014, Falcon was ranked 97th on the list of the world's fastest supercomputers. It was upgraded in 2017 and can now perform 1 quadrillion calculations per second. Falcon represents an order of magnitude increase in computing power for researchers at Idaho Public Universities. Having this incredible asset available for use by our universities is an invaluable addition to the collaborative research capabilities of Idaho's public universities. Reads the agreement between universities and Battelle Energy Alliance, which manages INL. The Falcon supercomputer puts Idaho academic high performance computing on the map, significantly increasing the attractiveness and competitiveness of Idaho's research universities and the students and faculty they serve, said Christopher Nomura, PhD, U of I's Vice. Where the hell did it go? Of I's Vice. In addition to accelerating research and increasing opportunities for collaboration, this resource will help fulfill the mission of INL's Center for Advanced Energy Studies to train and educate the future energy workforce. Falcon is connected to the universities via the Idaho Regional Optical Network, which enables high-speed data transfers to both local and remote computing centers. At the University of Idaho, computer modeling of complex problems is an expertise of our facility and researchers, Nomura said. Having access to the Falcon supercomputer allows Idaho researchers to run larger simulations and analyses of more than 10 times faster than previously possible and is a major game changer in our capability and capacity. This acceleration enables investigators to efficiently probe deeper and see farther, leading to new research advancements and insights. The computer has nearly 35,000. We know that. We know that. We know that. Network file system. Well, yeah, we know that too. And that was it for that. But that's still, wow. That is insane.
Because I don't know anything about this type of stuff, Melody out of chat brought up some very valid points that, like for someone like me, I should not confuse terabytes of RAM to petabytes of disk storage. I'm sure that is a major thing to, if you know anything about this type of stuff, it would,
All right.
signify a lot of things. But she says it's a typical larger university research computer used for climate modeling, no big deal. And maybe that's the absolute case. But to someone like myself looking at these types of specs, it's like, holy cow, this is unreal. I've never heard of anything like this. Where people that most likely, like you guys, that are more knowledgeable of this, maybe it does come across as not that big of a deal. I'm just kind of surprised. The University of Idaho, to me, from my knowledge, and my wife being from that area and stuff like that, it never seemed to be that big of a university or that big of a financial,
Yeah, I agree.
university. Like, I know of universities like Arizona State and University of Arizona that they're pretty well off financially because of the money being given to the university, but they're still not at the top tier of what I would consider to be a well off financial institution like a North Carolina, a Duke, a Harvard, or those. So I couldn't see U of I just having a something like this when other universities around it would not have.
Yeah.
But I
No,
could
I
be
agree.
wrong.
I
I could
agree.
be very wrong.
I can
So I
definitely
don't know.
agree. Bonnie, thank you so much for gifting that membership. God bless. Very, very nice of you. Appreciate that. And where did it go? Leslie is saying that we need to dig a little deeper in through the university's website. Um, mm,
And that's the whole thing at the end of the day. I understand, and I'm sure many of us, especially looking into this case, would understand that the University of Idaho would be a big player within how this case got investigated, how it's getting handled in the community. A lot of things go into this because I understand how it would affect everything about the university, from people wanting to attend it, people leaving, the financial investment coming back. I get all that, but
Mm.
you know, it's just really odd. You just don't see secrecy in cases like this anywhere. When things happen, you just don't see the secrecy of it. Even in this very same local community, that guy that is on, what did he do? He went next door and killed a couple of people or something, that is also facing,
Mhm. Right.
the hefty charges. Not everything's been concealed about that case, so
Right.
it's not something that's just normal for the area to do, because God, they released the body cam footage of Brian get pulled over by the female cop that everybody tore him up, saying he was being a jerk to. And I've been far worse than that when I got pulled over, trying to figure out why I got pulled over. So I didn't, I'm baffled by the secrecy from the very beginning, and it's so hard to talk about. Like, I want to come out and do really good content on that, because in my past, none of my cases had the secrecy like this one does. Even when they were investigating to get more people on top of us, they didn't hide stuff. They went and got the people, and it was just like, wow, what's going on? Why is this happening? And I think the university has a big part in that. I just do.
Right. I can agree with that. Definitely. Definitely agree with that.
And the lady asked about the Brent Kapaka. The whole reason why it's as big of a deal as it is, because maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just two separate cases altogether. They never knew each other. Doesn't matter. But the way law enforcement handled both with the secrecy they did, it's hard to not put them together. It's
Sure.
just hard not to, especially when you hear Koberger on body cam footage say, "Hey, did you hear about that shooting that happened in Washington State?" I mean, he brings it up, and
Mhm.
it's like,
Yeah.
why is everything just looking as if it could be connected? Then everybody says it's not connected, but it's so silently, nothing being released on. All the law enforcement has to come out and do is say, look, you fools, these are two different situations. They had nothing to do with each other. These two people didn't know of each other. They had no connection. It's just two bad instances that happened within a relatively short time. But nobody will ever say anything like that, Dago. Why not? Why not just come out and clear the air? That's all you
Right.
got to do. Clear the
Absolutely.
air.
I agree with you. That makes sense. Um, where exactly is that at, Leslie? Go into 2024 research Falcon supercomputer. Okay, is there a tab that I can find that on, Leslie? Under research, I clicked that. And do I just type that in somewhere? Welcome, Melanie, and thank you for joining us tonight. Hold on. Let me get to where Leslie's trying to get me to real quick here.
And Joanne, I agree with you. When law enforcement, in many of my cases, said none of these things mattered or were connected to each other, it always turned out they actually were. They were just saying
Sure.
that to keep eyes off of it. And then when you really come back to it, wham, it hits you right in the face and the whole thing tied together. So I get it. Get
Right.
that too. But, and I think that's one of my biggest issues is when everybody says, well, it's law enforcement. We got to trust them. We got to really believe they don't always do the right thing, and they don't always tell the truth. I've been through the whole denying things and lying about things, and then all of a sudden, bam, it hits you right in the face. And we all have seen how we already have issues from the past on other cases, but now we're just supposed to believe you in this case, even though you've been very secretive and very hidden from the very beginning. Now you're telling the truth.
Yes.
Dago, if I lied to you today and I told you a bold faced lie, you're not going to trust me again, no matter how honest with you I am from that point moving forward, because you always have to question, did you
Basically,
lie
yes,
to me?
sir. That's how that works,
Right?
right?
You bullshitted me once. How do I know you're not going to fill that in with the other truths that you may be telling? Well,
Yes,
these officers have lied. So now we're supposed to just trust it. Well, I'm sorry, I have questions. And then people
right.
come at us like we're crazy because we have questions. No, I'm just crazy because you've lost my trust. And now I'm
Okay.
trying to regain that by seeing you do honest things repetitively, but it takes time. Just like me, I can't go to my parents tomorrow and say, my entire life of crime is now out of me, and now you have to trust me. Just trust me. Because they're going to look at me and say, well, you haven't shown me why yet. Why do I trust you? And that's where I sit when I do all my research within the law enforcement in that area. Just everything keeps coming questionable and questionable and questionable. And I want to trust you because we all want the case and justice to be correct and done correctly. But you haven't shown us any reason to trust you. Even in the courtroom with, the prosecution isn't even trustworthy because they're throwing out flaming disinformation in regards to the IGG, and we can't get it from the FBI. And just step up and be honest. If you don't have something, they can't prove it, just say you can't prove it and move on. But it is what it is. Everybody, I ran Dago off.
No, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm trying to find where Leslie said.
Yeah, she says keep going down. And as I watched the press conferences from the Soto case in Texas, you could clearly see a difference in how the building of the case through the press conferences gave you the ability to have a little trust that they were actually working the case and they were going to get the people that did it, because they gave you reasoning, fact-based proof reasoning to believe that. They showed it to you. They brought it right to your face and said, hey, look at this video. You can see 2 people are involved. Well, we wouldn't have known that if we hadn't seen that video.
Right.
So when you can bring something, I guess, in the true crime community, they say, bring me the receipts. Show me the receipts. Well, yeah, show us the receipts. Why can other jurisdictions show the receipts? And then you get up into this biggest crime of Idaho history, which is followed up by the biggest drug arrest in Idaho history. Blah, everything in Idaho history is all happening in a very short period of time for some reason. But
Right.
you will not allow us one glimpse of actual factual evidence. You don't have to give away the whole case. Everybody
Right.
says they're not going to give you the whole case. They're not going to show you everything they got. No, don't. But show us one factual damning piece of evidence. Show it to us.
Right.
Even if you showed us a picture of the sheath. Okay, well, now we know what the sheath looks like. Right now, we don't even know if there was a sheath because none of us have seen it. None of us have seen it.
Mm.
What have we legitimately seen that's factual evidence? Anything. Anything. One piece of factual evidence.
Right. When I click on these, Leslie, to open this up, Office of Research and Faculty Development, I lets me click on it, and then it just opens up these other things down here. Where do I go? I'm sorry, you have to search out Scott Green and go into. You mean on here? Hold on. Sorry guys. I've never been through this part of this before, so I'm trying to hold on. Research for faculty and staff. Click on that. See if that makes a difference there. Okay, now go. Come on, Dago. You can do this. Where the hell do you do this at? Faculty and staff. Boom. Okay. Staff council, faculty senate, safety, administrative procedures manual, OIT. I'm a little lost. I'm working on it. I'm trying. Bear with me, guys. Boom.
Good to see you, Reverend Cynthia Hayes. Always a
Yes.
pleasure
Good
seeing
to see you,
you.
Reverend. I want to say personally, Reverend Cynthia, I'm so sorry for what you've been through recently. Please know that we all have your back and support you in everything you have tried to do,
Yep.
and know that we are all on your side, my dear, wholeheartedly.
My wife and I and my entire channel have your back, Reverend Cynthia.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
all have your back.
Absolutely.
100%.
Okay,
100%.
now, real quick here, since sorry, Lord, um, confusing people's names. I'm sorry, Leslie. Okay, so if I come into this Scott Green, there's a lot. Do I need to look at him based on something else? Scott Green, Falcon. Okay, Scott Green, Falcon Computer.
Me quickly while you're doing that too. Has anybody seen a case that has walked a finer line of mistrial than this one ever? In that we've seen, like in our actual views of it play out from beginning to end. I mean, even now, rumors of a grand juror somehow getting information to a victim's family, that's a mistrial. The IgG information possibly going in through the fruit of the poisonous tree is a mistrial. Not many people are really putting it all together that Idaho's just allowing this thing to weave like a snake through the grass to get to the water, and they're just going to let it all happen. And this could cost an individual their life, all because the justice system is afraid to put the brakes on something and say, hey, wait a minute, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We're going to convict somebody the correct way. Otherwise, this has to be thrown out of court till you can bring it to the correct way of doing it. And I've been around crime my entire life. I've seen so many cases get thrown out at mistrials and dismissals, and everybody, oh my God, the world's over. If it's the right person, you will rearrest them and you will work the case properly. And you're right. You know what? I have to actually agree with someone that said, yeah, Delphi. Well, there you go. There's two cases possibly
Well,
in the same
and
year.
I have to say, Delphi is way worse, in my opinion, than Idaho, and by a million and one. The scenario in Delphi is completely like in our face, real deal, no conspiracy. It is what it is, and that is some weird, crazy, backward shit going down. Period. In
And
this
and
sense, it's still crazy in Idaho, but not like that.
and wisdom speaks is right. There is no actual evidence or receipt of grand
Right.
jury saying anything. And I get that.
Right.
I absolutely get that. And I agree to that. However, there needs to be that same type of investigation tactic that the prosecution utilized using the FBI to go to the defense
Thank you,
witness's
Leslie.
home
A little
and
easier.
talk to an actual defense witness about their testimony, which is actually tampering with the witness. But, and that's a mistrial. I get it, but why did nobody ever go check in to find out if anybody on that grand jury has spoken to anybody? Why not? Why not dive into it and find that out? Because they're just moving forward. They're just going with it. So
That is a good point, my friend. I do agree.
that's just how I don't know. I look at things, the evidence is key, but the way that the system works is just as important. If we don't take the methods to try people correctly, well, then moving forward, cases are going to start molding themselves on how these are happening. If they get away with stuff like what's happening in the Delphi case, and then Idaho looks at that and says, well, hell, if they could do it, we'll do it. And then the next case thinks they could do it. Well, then it just becomes normal and everybody moves forward from that point, if that makes sense. Now it's just normal. Now nobody's going to get a dismissal for that.
Again, that
Nope.
does make sense, sir. It absolutely does.
You
There
know,
is
so-
my email right there, Leslie, right on screen.
And I know you're trying to accomplish something. And if I'm interrupting you or,
No,
or
you're
causing
you're
issues,
fine.
just,
You're fine.
I'm sure you have a mute button that could mute me.
Oh, no worries. They're listening to you too.
I mean, it's just kind of like this is the way my mind has really been spinning lately because I always have to worry, not only for myself, but anybody else. What if something does happen and I get rearrested and it's a shady thing that I didn't do, but people say I did, and the justice system just wants to look at my past and say, well, we know he must have done it because look at his past. And they're not willing to actually give me the opportunity to prove my innocence. Well, now as we methodically work through the justice system, things that shouldn't be able to be used against me are going to be allowed. And how do I now actually combat that? Like, if my actual alibi doesn't suit people's mentality or thoughts to justify what I legitimately has an alibi, should I just not be able to use that? Should I be pressured that, well, you can't use that, so either make up another one and we'll get you for purging yourself on the stand, or you just can't use it, period.
Okay, here we go. Leslie asked me to read this and then keep
Awesome.
going. So, all right.
Yep.
This is in regards to, first of all, for those of you that don't know, this is Scott Green, the president of the University of Idaho. He did some, he spoke a few times in regards to what happened there live on press conferences and stuff like that. Okay. C. Scott Green took office as the 19th president of the University of Idaho on July 1st of 2019. President Green joins the University of Idaho as a highly accomplished executive with career in global finance, operations, and administration. He is also a proud alumnus of the university, graduating in 1984 with a Bachelor of Science in Accounting. Born in Moscow, Green's family moved to Boise, where he graduated from Boise High School, following his degree from the University of Idaho. The third generation Vandal went to work for Boise Cascade Corporation. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. He went on to attend Harvard Business School and received a Master of Business Administration in 1989. Green worked for Deloitte and Touche as part of its accelerated career program from 89 to 94. He then worked in banking, serving in various management roles for Goldman Sachs and ING Bearings. He published 2 books on the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, which reformed regulations around auditing and financial reporting. Green went on to leadership in global law firms, including services as CEO at Pepper Hamilton and as executive director at Wilmer Hill. He most recently served as the chief operating and financial officer for Hogan Lovells, one of the largest law firms in the world, with annual revenues of over $2 billion. Green led all of the firm's worldwide operations, technology conflicts, and finance functions. He has had global responsibility for more than 3,000 employees in more than 30 countries. The first non-lawyer to run an American Lawyer 100 law firm, Green was recognized as one of the top 50 big law innovators of the last 50 years by the American Lawyer magazine in 2013. A certified public accountant, Green was inducted into the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants Business and Industry Hall of Fame in 2006. He won the Institute of Internal Auditors Outstanding Contributor Award in 2004 and 2006. Green's commitment to the University of Idaho over many years has included service on the U of I Alumni Association's National Board of Directors, the College of Business and Economics Advisory Board, and on U of I Foundation Board. He is also a Vandal Scholarship Fund supporter. Scott and his wife, Gabriella, an interior design project manager, have 2 adult children, Nicholas and Christina. Okay. Is there more, Leslie? I mean, that's a lot. This guy is just, there's so much more on him. I'll find it and send it to you. Thank you for, oh, yeah. I mean, this says a lot in itself. This guy is big time, folks. He's not just some president of the university. If you look at his affiliations and his educational background, it's insane. Like, he seems like he should be running something more than the University of Idaho, in my opinion.
That's what makes this so weird. I mean, why is the University of Idaho? I mean, they're making huge purchases of other universities. I mean, it's really odd everything that's going on in that little place.
And
I know Moscow. It's little, man.
Right, and here's the thing. This project, university, Phoenix University thing that's been a little weird to me. I've looked into that a little bit. There's been some. It's just strange the affiliation that he pushed for this and how bad he wanted this there. I understand the money involved, but I mean, something about this is just. It seems to be too much to me, in my opinion. I mean, you gotta look at it, I guess.
Just everything crazily, Moscow, Idaho, and the University of Idaho, and then the fraternities and the sororities, and just everything feels weird about the entirety of it all.
Yeah.
And not much is even being stated about, like, Washington State, where the actual so-called murderer went to school. Their name isn't brought up about anything. They're literally 7-8 miles from each other. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of communication, a lot of weirdness just about that little Moscow. And it's, I'm surprised.
There we go.
I mean, it's
I agree. I agree. And that question right there, how did listen, I want you guys to see this. This is what this was leading to. The average salary of a CEO of a top legal firm is $24 million a year. That would not make him a billionaire over 20 years. Sliding back down. So, how did President Green make his billions? Okay. This guy is not just your average everyday university president. Okay. We just read what this guy has been involved with, what he does, who he is, who he knows, why he does what he does. And now we know these other things as well. And then we see this supercomputer thing that he had a big piece of that they brought into this spot that he is the president of. They could have taken it anywhere, but they brought it here. So ask yourself, how and why is this guy involved here? And what are the connections? What do these connections have? And like, this was something that was big for him to bring in this University of Phoenix thing. It was a huge thing for them.
I mean, even if you're worth billions, why are you still a part of the university anyway?
That's what I'm saying.
Why aren't you traveling globally, connecting with other billionaires, and just doing amazing? Why Idaho? Like,
that's my point. Why are you in little ass Moscow,
Yeah.
Idaho, with
And I
what
mean,
his background is.
I get it, and my people have told me that had a lot of money. They're like, when you have a lot of money and you stay in a small area, you are the rock star, you are the everything. And I get that. But normally the people that have that type of money want to go mingle with other people that have that type of money because they want to make more money and they get more name for themselves. So I just don't see that happening in Moscow, Idaho. Like I
Mm-hmm.
just don't, I don't know, but it just seems everything about it from the day it broke and I sat there and I watched my TV and I'm sure all of you did it too. I watched my TV and it's like four college individuals lose their life and the way they're acting right
And
now is so sketchy. I don't know what's going on.
that's
Like it,
that's that's the point too, Clue, and that's what I'm saying to you guys. We see what this man is about, what this man is from, where he came from, what he's done in a short period of time. Like Draw said, he's a billionaire. Okay. And he's been in little ass Moscow, Idaho, the whole time at the University of Idaho. Well, not the whole time, but I mean, yeah, I mean, he came from here too. Okay, and that again, as we know, not this doesn't really have any bearing on it, but the house that they just tore down was his childhood home. So he's been here for forever. Okay, made his rounds, and he comes back, and here he is again. Why? Why is he not moving on? Why has he not taken what he has and done something with that bigger than this? Okay. He stays right here in this little circle and continues doing what he's doing. And then some. He's bringing in all these things into him around to surround himself with this Falcon supercomputer thing, the University of Phoenix project that he's brought in. Okay. All of these things that he's doing is right here in this Moscow, Idaho, University of Idaho area. Um, it's interesting to me because if you have what he has as a background, if you have what he has financially, what, why? Like we have much larger places that this guy could do. Like he could be doing something in California, for God's sakes. That's one of the biggest states in the country, Texas, or somewhere that has more outreach, maybe. I don't know, or even overseas. You know what I'm saying? Right here in little old Moscow, Idaho, quiet little on the corner, quiet little Moscow, Idaho, small town area stuff. It just something's up with this. I mean, it's a lot. I didn't know all that about him, honestly. Did not know at
why?
all.
And I mean, to kind of, I'm not going to try to knock it. You talked about him because it is all odd with him too. But why does everything tie back to this same house? Like this big rich guy that obviously has made money, grew up in that house. The owners of
Mhm.
the house were connected to a white car found in Oregon, oddly. I mean, it's just like, why does everything just surround this house in
Right.
Moscow, Idaho?
Yep.
It
I
and
agree.
I'm sure if this type of crime had happened in a house 3 blocks away, there would be a whole big story about that house too. I get it. I understand that, but there's just so much oddity. Just about like even the location of the house, who could see the house, the band field action in front of the house. There's just so much weird stuff about this, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
I
odd.
agree. I
And,
agree.
and maybe when we get to trial, and I'm gonna, if it does get to trial at the end of the day, and this guy's the one that did it, I'm gonna have to be one of the first people that comes out with the biggest apology and blah 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 blah, whatever. But I'm not, I'm not fully saying he's 100% innocent. I'm just saying this is really odd, and the way that the justice system is handling it is literally blowing my mind and pissing me off. I mean, it just is.
I can get it. I agree. What's up, Clue? Cletus, what's happening, folks?
Yeah, I got on because, well, Cletus wants to say something. I don't know what he's going to say, but I personally feel like this guy, he didn't just get money. Like, he's had money. Him and his wife have probably
Right.
gone places, done things, traveled, messed around, invested. Like, they've lived their life. Like, at some point when you're older, it's all right, it's time to settle down, get in one location, let the kids pop out some grandkids, and you want to be stable in a quaint, quiet little town 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean? You can't be a baller forever. Like at some point your knees are going to give out. But here's Cletus. Let me.
Yeah, but are you saying Moscow, Idaho's the place for a billionaire to settle down in the woods and
If that's
relax and
his,
have a?
if that's his
I
goal, sure.
there's got to be better places just 30 minutes away from there
Well,
than
yeah,
live
but
in.
if he was born and raised here, I can kind of see that. Yeah, go ahead,
No,
Cletus.
I 100%. I don't think it's odd at all. But that's just me. Now the question is, if you're truly a billionaire, why do you want the headache of managing and being the president of a university? But at the same time, there's some people that don't ever want to retire.
Well, and
Yeah.
what's up, AR? Dago.
Hey,
Hey,
big
AR.
man, how are you?
How are
You
you?
skipped right over that. Hey, no, I was gonna say, and you had the thing up on the screen a minute ago, which she's already kind of spoken to. $1 billion is a lot more valuable in Idaho than it is other places, and I do agree with what you're saying to an extent, AR. But I look at it, I try to look at things through my own shoes, right? And if I had, what is it, $24 billion is what he's worth, or something like that,
And then
or
some, I think. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's on the surface.
yeah, exactly right. That's
Yeah.
what's on paper. But
Yeah.
I would imagine somebody that has managed to build that kind of a fortune, right, at the age he's at, they didn't get that fortune without imposing some type of control over something, right? You don't
Yeah.
get to that kind of level of fortune from at the bottom. You got to be at the top to get there, and it's hard to give up that level of control. So if he can move to a town of Idaho, of Moscow, Idaho, and run it with his $24 billion, I can completely see how he would do it. I can completely understand why that would be the place that he goes, personally.
And I would agree with that, but also then you've got to take a step back and look at the entirety of what's happening in this case. You don't think that 24 billion top dog from the area has say in, oh no, that house has to come down right now.
Oh no,
Like that house has to come down.
we
You
are
know?
100% aligned on that. I've been saying this for a minute that I think the U of I is running this show since this happened.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll go a step further. The U of I, and there's a possibility that Green himself, because I still, on my life, I will never be comfortable with the fact that he was at Sigma Chi 5 nights before this happened.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Like he
I'm
was
sorry. That's
with
what I'm saying. Look at the oddity of these small things. A $24 billion man, just a handful of days before the biggest crime ever in his own city happens, is happened to be at the frat house.
yeah, he's
14
partying with them
billion.
for some sort of scholarship, wasn't it a scholarship thing or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was a scholarship presentation.
But I just happened to find the picture of them all together and looked at the date, and it was like, oh, okay, so 5 days before this goes down, like you can literally see Ethan standing in the background behind him. 5 days before it went down, you're at Sigma Chi. Now that could just be a president's duties, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I
apologize. I apologize, everybody. 14 million, not 24. It will be 24 billion by the end of the year. It's only 14 billion right now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. 14 billion. I will fix my mistake.
Trump changed. Right? Trump changed.
Yeah,
I mean, to be
Just let-
fair, it's only another 10 billion. Like that at that point, it is chump change.
I'm just saying at the end of the year, when the interest kicks in on his bank accounts, we could say 24 billion. But for right now, we gotta stick with 14.
I don't know why you guys sound so impressed. Y'all didn't make close to that this year on YouTube.
Thankfully, I don't have a year's worth of transactions to tell you.
I'm getting there, too. I'm getting there. Don't worry. What we should do is we need to look up, who has this much money in the world at this point and see why this dude does. Okay.
Well,
He's not even in the top 1,000 people.
oh
No.
no, he's a small
No.
player in a big
Yeah,
pond
no,
of
I mean,
rich,
And I
rich
mean,
people.
y'all forget he was the CEO of a huge, and I mean huge company. Like they are top dog in what they do.
you could probably say LeBron James, a basketball player, might have more money than him.
No.
I will say, AR, I
He's
will
a billionaire.
that actually is a really good point because Taylor Swift, everybody knows
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, Screen Door, da da da, play it again.
Yeah.
She just now became a billionaire. How long you been hearing that girl's name?
Yeah. Well, do you think Michael Jordan's a billionaire?
No.
No.
Not even close.
No.
Well, I mean, I'm just.
So LeBron James guaranteed right now worth is 1.05 billion, with 3 other companies worth 4 billion and more in his children's names.
But if I'm not mistaken, Scott Green, the company he ran, was involved in finances, was it not?
It was
Yeah.
something like
Oh yeah.
look
Yeah.
right
Right.
there.
So
Global Firms, Pepper Hamilton.
Pepper Hamilton, and an executive director at Wilmer Hill. He recently served as chief operating and financial officer for Hogan Lovells, one of the largest
That's
law firms in the world. That one right there, Hogan
yeah.
Lovells. Sorry. With annual revenues of over $2 billion a year. Green led all of the firm's worldwide operations, technology conflicts, and finance functions. He has had global responsibility. That's the whole world, folks, not just the States, for more
Yeah.
than 3,000 employees in more than 30 countries. So there it is.
And he's not even a lawyer.
Yeah, he's the first non-lawyer to run an American lawyer firm, 100 law firm. Green was recognized as one of the top 50 big law innovators of the last 50 years by the American Lawyer magazine, and he's not even an attorney, folks. So
Yeah, like I'm
he's a
telling y'all,
CPA.
he does big shit. Like
well, and that's what I
Yeah.
was going to say. I mean, if you look at Trump and his background, Donald Trump, right, where he
Mhm.
got his money, right? I mean, it's the real estate. Because if I'm not mistaken, a lot of his wealth is from real estate. If I'm not mistaken, when she looked into him, that's what I remember of it. And it's really you. I mean, you can go find 1,000 case studies of this just at the as soon as you search it. That's where people make quick money and a
heck
lot
yeah.
of it all the time.
And then
So
if you look at this whole, let me see, this man has his hand in quite a few cookie jars, if you know what I'm saying. Okay.
oh yeah.
So, and the things that he's got the cookie jars he's got his hand in, these ain't no dollar store cookie jars, folks. They don't sell dollar store cookies. These are the top of the line, homemade, whatever you can get, gold chocolate chips in these things type cookies. Okay. This
Mhm.
this whole Falcon supercomputer scenario, okay, that in itself is huge, and it's at little old University of Idaho. It's huge. That's money in itself. That to be attached to something like that is huge. Okay, the things that he attaches himself to are not little fly by night. You know, this is gonna pass in a couple days or a couple months thing. This is like lifetime stuff, folks. So, in the University of Phoenix deal, big money. And I'm telling you, this is just my opinion. And if I'm wrong, then I'm gonna sit here and say, guess what, guys? The Dago was wrong. But that plot of land that was handed over to the university, there's gonna be some very nice apartments there within the next
Oh, 100%.
5 years. I
100%.
promise you that. And expensive. Expensive.
Yeah.
And
And
I was
especially oh
I
sorry.
was wrong. $14 billion puts you in the top 125 richest people in the world.
Okay. And everybody's
at
asking where it shows that he's a billionaire. Do you have the link that shows that his net worth?
I mean,
That's
I'm
what I'm
looking
saying.
at.
Like, do we know that he's actually a billionaire? Like, has that been
I mean,
is that on paper?
I just looked at 14 billion, and there I don't see his name in that 14 billion range, but I'm still scrolling. Is it David Green and family?
Okay, hold on a second. Leslie
If it's
sent me emails. Hold on.
if it's David Green and family from the United States, it's 14.9 billion,
It's C.
and
Scott
they're
Green. It's
C.
C.
C. Scott Green. That's the name. Hey,
C.
Leslie.
Scott. All right.
Yeah, because isn't it Christopher or something?
No, it's it's
Cornelius.
no, it's a strange. It's a name I don't think I had heard before.
It's why he goes by
I
Scott.
Coomer
I
Scott
C.
Green. Cumer. I think that's
Yeah,
it.
Coomer Scott Green.
Coomer Scott Green. That's it. Thank you. Hold on a minute. Why do I have to keep doing this? Damn it. Hold on.
I mean, I'm on the list of. It shows all their finances and their names, and I'm just
Oh, well,
scrolling.
you should go up. AR, you'll see me in the
I
75 billion.
Well, I'm trying to find the 1,000 and that's where I'll be found when I get a paycheck one day. Yeah, I don't see
Okay.
the name. I don't see it.
All right.
What?
So the emails that Leslie sent me. Okay. Wow.
But that doesn't mean it wouldn't be underneath one of his company names or something like that either. Even though these are all
Scott
equal
is
to
his
name.
middle name. It's Cumer is his first name. Coomer.
Coomer Scott Green. Yes.
Correct.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm going down to the 10 billion, and I haven't seen him yet.
It's 2 point. So Gerard Latina said he's worth 2.79 billion. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
All right. There's a lot in this. Thank you,
Is the
Leslie.
you said the last name is Cohen?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's
Okay.
so
Coomer.
the first name
Yeah.
is Cumer. Coomer.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean,
Okay. So
you said
there's a lot to this here. This is what Leslie sent me. Good Lord.
I mean, if I find him, I'm going to reach out to him and ask for a loan, and I'll share it with all of you guys, and then we can upgrade our facilities for YouTube.
Okay, the U.S. Department of Education announced today that it will provide $37 million in student debt cancellation for some 1,200 former students who contend that they were scammed by the University of Phoenix, which has long been the largest for-profit college and has received tens of billions in taxpayers' funding. Oh, this is the whole Phoenix scam thing. I remember hearing this. Okay. New debt relief for scammed U of Phoenix students heightens perils of Idaho deal. Okay. I remember that. Okay. I'm not going to read all that right now because I will never shut up. But there's more. Scott Green. Let's see here.
Look, Gerard said Coomer like Cletus.
Thank you again, Leslie, for all of this. This is. Oh yeah, there's his special truck that he owns. Good God.
Oh, so he's only worth 2.79 million.
No.
Is that right?
It's billion?
Hold on.
Billion. I thought it was billion.
I'm looking at it right here.
They're saying in the chat million.
No,
Oh yeah, his University of Idaho truck.
There it is. C. Scott Green.
No, it's billion.
2.79 billion.
Right, and that's something else I had read too, Heather. The attorney general opened an investigation for fraud over this purchase, so that's another big deal. Okay,
You know that's his personal truck, Dago. Like
yes,
he
that's
had that wrapped.
right. Look at it.
I mean, I don't blame him, right? You definitely want to show school spirit
Right,
as the
but dang
president.
it, I bet you, I guarantee you that wasn't cheap. So yeah, but that's what he drives. 2.79 billion. That's a lot of damn money, guys. I want to.
My
Really?
wife's My
I wanna-
wife's car wrap was not cheap either.
I want to see this guy's house. That's what I want to see. Good God.
He lives in the university. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a like the inside of his home is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a virtual tour of it if you want to take
Of
it.
his home?
Yeah, he lives at the university. There's something called the president's house, and it's black outside. It's got a lot of glass on it, and they use half of it for his house. The other half is used for university events.
It's right.
It's like literally
right
right.
beside the water tower.
Yeah, it's right beside the water tower. It's like a straight line to the King Road home. You could draw like a straight line.
I did see that on a map before. Let me see something here. I think I know.
They call it something.
I thought it was the
It might be the
house.
president's house. I can't remember what the heck they call it, but
Is he the richest in Idaho? Does he have the
No,
most money?
Frank
No.
Vandersloot
I
is the
doubt
richest
it.
man in Idaho. I was just looking at
how much
that.
is he worth? Just curious.
Shit, I lost it. Hold on.
Frank Vandersloot?
I think that was
Yes.
his name.
Yeah, I've heard that name before.
Yep.
4.2 billion is what he's worth.
Oh, he's catching up. Don't all Bentleys have wipers on the headlights? What?
I think you're right. I do think you're right. They got those little wipers on the lights to keep the rain from, you know what I mean?
I think the coolest thing about a Bentley is when you open the door, there's an umbrella that stores inside of it.
Mm-hmm. That's
What?
an expensive car. Oh, sure.
We have two. What are you talking about?
I'm working on my first one still. I'm not as popular as you guys yet.
I hope I just get a driver's license one day.
Oh, poor AR.
I'm still working. I'm still working on the driver's license aspect of life.
You gotta be out. You gotta be on YouTube a little bit longer, AR. You're getting there. Don't worry about it.
Hey, at least they let me drive a golf cart, man. I mean, at least I get from point A to point B without having to walk.
There you
Sometimes.
go.
Driving is overrated.
Yeah,
Chad, it's the university house.
The university house, that's it.
Yeah.
I will say that whole deal with the University of Phoenix, it kind of just proved he is a sneaky ass snake, that Green. Like, he was emailing people saying, we're on a deadline. There's another place interested. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
He was having them meet in secret. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I will say this, right? It is secretive, but in the business world, it's really not anything that's that far of a
I know
stretch.
it's not that nefarious in the business world, but it just shows that you are willing to skate the open door policies, the transparency of the way stuff is supposed to go.
And I think it shows that I think it's fair to say, in my opinion, he's the guy at the top of that town. And it shows it shows a level of corruption.
That's it.
No matter how small or big you look, it is. I believe it's there. And if he's the guy at the top, then it is a systemic problem from the top down, which is where I have a lot of issue with this whole case.
I'm right there with you, Cletus, for real.
There you go.
You know, I'm not the one that's going to sit here and battle everybody on, oh, he's innocent, he didn't do it. Because I don't fully know, but what I will battle people on is it doesn't look good the way that the system is handling this case, whether they're doing it the right way. I mean, I guess the law would be the ones to say whether they are or not. But if so many people of normal everyday community go, man, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't look like they're doing that the right way. Maybe they need to look at it and say, it's not following the way most cases are investigated, prosecuted. I mean, this, at the worst case scenario, this is going to a major appeal the minute the guilty verdict is given. I mean, I think a lot of us already can feel a guilty verdict even before it goes to trial. I mean, we feel it.
I'm not there.
You know,
I'm really not there yet for some reason. I'm just not sold that there's not 12 people in that town or in that area that will be on a jury that will agree he's guilty. I'm just not. I'm not there
I'm
yet.
with you on that. I am with you on that.
I agree
I
too.
hope that all of our common sense minds could all come to the conclusion exactly what you just said. I think we would all agree. The problem is, I think, in my opinion, the way this is all going is, hey, if we allow the prosecution to win at trial and then we overturn it at appeal, it's nobody's fault that the innocent man gets off. The mistakes that we made in our investigation that should have never been utilized to actually bring evidence in this get wiped clean. Nobody ever finds out about these mistakes. It's no harm, no foul. The guy gets to go home, no death penalty. But that's not true because then the families get no justice, even though the prosecutors can look at him and say, hey, we got him found guilty at trial. He got found guilty,
I just,
you know. It's just sad all the way across the board. It's sad.
Dago, that comment CL put that he's not he is a billionaire. Just so y'all know, Scott Green is a billionaire. He's $2.79 billion. That's his worth. So I don't know if that's who they were talking about, but
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, that's not misinformation. His net worth is literally 2.79 billion.
That's definitely a billionaire.
Going back
Okay.
to
Thank
what,
you, Heather.
going
Heather's
back to what,
stating a bunch of stuff here in chat from the top down, guys, that I've been clicking on, and it's quite interesting, to be honest with you. U of I alum and staff openly oppose the purchase along with Greek chapters. The purchase will cheapen the U of I name and rep. And I thought that as well.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
they're going from the University of Idaho, and they're I mean, nothing against anybody that ever had dealt with the University of Phoenix online, but you're going from it's like going from the White House to my house. You know what I'm saying? It's just a big jump in thing. So it's going to cheapen the name and the I said that a long time ago when I heard about the Phoenix thing, the name and the reputation of the school, in my opinion. So I just was like, what is such a big deal? There's something underlying behind the purchase of this. And I'm telling you, there's a kickback somewhere that goes along with it. That's all. That's my opinion, but I'm just saying, he's accused of human rights violations, and the Idaho Attorney General is investigating him for fraud in this purchase. Another good
Well,
point.
that's what I'm telling y'all. Like he did it all. He did all of it behind closed doors. Like, and it goes
Right.
against. That's why the attorney general is looking into it. It goes against the state's basically transparency policy in these dealings. So, I mean, it needs to be looked into. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. King Road was likely a targeted event, and Green was warned. This explains the LE being at that block.
Well, I mean, they did initially come out and say the house was the target, not the people at
Crime was the halt
first.
to purchase, in my opinion. Rooms with bodies appearance in AZ in Idaho.
Well, you have to think about this. If that had not happened in that house, would they have ever sold it? And not to mention, y'all are forgetting the two adjacent properties, 1118 and 1126, have also been sold to the same company on the same
Right.
day at the same time.
Yep.
There is something motivational in my opinion, in this crime. Like it feels like there's something motivational, and it always comes down for me to the university.
and see,
Yeah. Yeah.
I see the sale of those other two as more of an like. I don't think the U of I was behind the act. I personally don't think that. I haven't seen anything that really gives me that feeling. I'm thinking it's more of a situation with the sale of those two homes of a opportunity, because with that company that bought them, or that guy that owns that business that bought them and also has a development company, and knowing Scott Green is what he is in that town, I'm thinking that there might be a little bit of a connection there, and ultimately all three properties come together. The development company gets to build the apartment complex, and then later on, it all comes back around to Scott Green.
But why would you sell it? Like if me and you own that property, every single year we knew it would be filled with college students whose parents have money. They're paying the rent on time. Why would you ever get rid of that constant flow of just cash?
I mean, there's influence there, right?
What?
All day there's
Which
influence
comes
there.
from who?
I know that's what I'm saying, but I think at the end of the day, on that train of thought, you've got to find where the person that's influencing things ultimately gets the reward at the end, right? And that's what I'm saying.
Look,
That comment right there, I do remember that.
yes, it
being
was in
brought to
May.
my attention, right? The same day that Brian was indicted is when the purchase went through on that. So yeah, I remember questioning that then. Only because it was very, very, very coincidental. The U of I is referred to as if they are investigators on the case when they should have been investigated. That's another good point, Heather. The 18th of May of 2023. Thank you. Wouldn't it make them all look bad to build apartments, etc., after saying that they will make a memorial? But they didn't say that. They stated that
No.
once, and then they said that they
It's
were going to
gonna be
make a
on
memorial
campus.
on the campus itself. That's going to be like a, well, they said nothing at this point. So,
Yeah, they retracted that. I thought pretty quick that the memorial was going somewhere else. They were
yeah,
not
they
going to
said it
build
was
a
going to be
memorial.
actually on campus, like right out in the middle of the campus, because they wanted it to be seen better than there. So, I mean, yeah, the newest
Well,
statement, I agree,
so
was that they're going to plant grass. That's what they said, right, Heather?
it's so all students can enjoy it, is what they said, because it'll actually be on campus.
Yeah, that was their basis behind it. So this is where this man lives, you guys. This is the home, the good God home. Jesus. And this was built in 2019 when Scott Green became the president of the university, folks. That's kind of coincidental to me too.
I have that faucet.
His probably costs more than yours.
I don't know. Maybe.
I bet he didn't get it on Amazon.
I mean,
No.
look at this place. This is crazy.
That's a horrible paint job on that wood. Do you see that? Like, I remember watching this going, what? Look at it. I'd be tearing them contractors up. Do it again.
CL said that this is property of the universities. He doesn't own this.
That's what I was thinking, is that they have universities functions at that house.
Yeah.
He can reside there, but I don't even know that he has to necessarily.
Well, that's what they said. He lives in half of it, and then the other portion is for like weddings, events, whatever.
Isn't it kind of like the White House, where while you're president of the university, you can live there and it's utilized for numerous things, but
Yeah, that's what I
and then
think.
if you leave the presidency of the university, you probably have to move out of the house and whatever. You get to write your name on the wall of the toilet in the master bathroom before you leave. Oh, maybe that's just what we do in the joint. Never mind. That's what we do in prison.
that comment on the screen is right. You know, it still blows my mind that they pay this man over $400,000 a year. Like, he makes. I haven't checked it
I agree with that. I do agree with.
At one point, I know that's what the president made, and it's like, really,
Yeah, that's
like
what
you're
his
making
salary.
more than the president of the United States. Really?
I mean, to be fair though, like college kids nowadays, you would have to pay me at least that before I'm even going to say yes. Not like, I'm not even kidding.
Well, I mean, you also got to look that the starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos makes $40 million a year and doesn't even play.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, we have brain surgeons that are saving people's lives that make 1/1000th of what some of these players make. And I like watching football. I just don't think they deserve 40 million. I'm sorry, I just don't.
No, I do. I think that's it's just such an overpaid industry, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I think that and baseball. A-Rod, you guys remember how much he used to make
Yeah.
as a
Well,
baseball player?
we're watching schools go to all hell. We're watching all this stuff, and we're wondering where are we going to come up with the financial flexibility to help all these different industries, and well, it's all going into football players' pockets,
No, dude,
baseball players.
you got to get on
You
YouTube
know,
like us and make all the money on YouTube that we're making.
Yeah.
you know what? I keep hearing you guys say that. I better step up my game
No,
because
we're it's a joke, AR.
Yeah, it's a wholehearted
uh,
joke, bro. It's definitely not
Yeah.
real. It's a complete. We're backwards on that. To be honest with you.
and don't get me wrong, I'm not mad about what I make by any means, but I'm just saying if people call this an income, come to prison. I made a lot of money in prison, like a lot of money in prison. This isn't what even prison money was. I'm sorry to say,
Yeah,
nowhere near it.
this is some crazy stuff for real. It's interesting. The details behind a lot of this is very, very interesting to me.
You tell them.
guys, I
Very-
think we're gonna step down. We gotta call it a night.
Yeah,
For
it's
the
getting
second
late.
time.
I can't do the 4 a.m. thing again, and I think I'm about to bring her down. We've been live about 2.5 hours, so
I
just
gotta
wanted
get
to,
some. I
go
gotta
ahead.
get new content out. I gotta actually do my job on my channel.
Me too, AR. I'm like, I gotta make some videos this week. I
Well,
got some
Alright.
topics.
this coming
I
week,
gotta
I
do-
got there's some new cases we need to look at that we haven't looked at that's going on. I've had some personal requests for stuff and stuff like so. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be jumping into some newer stuff. And yeah, we all gotta put some stuff together.
Yeah, and if anybody's interested, Jen and I will go live for a little while and talk real life and talk dogs and have a good time about Vegas. If you guys want to join us for a little fun here or there, tomorrow night and Tuesday night, just for maybe a short hour.
There you go. Sounds like a
So
plan.
you guys are all more welcome to jump over, say hi. We'd love to have you guys. So
Sure thing. There's absolutely. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that very, very much. It works for me.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, Clue and Cletus,
good
have a
night.
great night. You guys, thanks
You guys
again.
have a good one.
Appreciate
Good
your
night,
input.
See you.
Absolutely.
And Dago, good night to you. Good night to your very amazing crowd. I see so many names that also join me on my page. And like the detective says, we just steal each other's subs to profit more from YouTube. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
whatever. It's a community. That's the problem with it. That's what he
Yeah.
doesn't seem to gather because they don't go there. It's a very large community and we share the same community and because they want to hear all the different perspectives from you, from me, from Clue, from Drunk Turkey, from Jules. We all have
Yeah.
different variations as to how we cover this and our different perspectives on things, and everybody wants to hear it all. And I get that because I'm the same way. So
Yeah.
it is what it
Different
is.
perspectives, different thoughts, different experiences in the past. We're not all the same. And that's why sometimes we get along perfectly. Other times we argue a little bit, but it all comes back to the same thing. We
Amen.
all come back together. We take care of the community. We just keep going forward, man. We keep
Amen.
going forward.
Amen, my
So,
friend. I do
lot,
agree.
lot of respect to you. A lot of respect to your community. We have a lot of love for you guys. We'll do it again here again soon, my friend.
I
We'll do it
appreciate you,
again soon.
brother. You have a great
Yep.
rest of your night. You and your amazing wife both. And I will talk to you very soon.
Yep. Give love to your family for me as well. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too, bro. All right. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Everybody that jumped up here. I really appreciate the call-ins and the input from the call-ins. You guys are great. Yeah, we're like 10 minutes out from 3 hours, guys, and I can't pull another 4 a.m.er. I could, but I don't want to. I need to sleep a little bit this time, but I will be here tomorrow, and I'm hoping, if everything goes right, my normal time during the day, the normal time slot, because I've had some people ask about that, and I'm trying to be able to do that time slot and then a few times a week do the nighttime slots like this. Okay, so that is what my plan and my plot is for this. So for those of you that are interested in that, um, Melanie Mitchell is my 9 a.m. now in Moscow, Russia. Is that where you're stationed at, Melanie? And if you are, God bless and be safe, please. Thank you for joining us from there. Interesting. Everybody else, guys, you're amazing. Absolutely amazing. I adore each and every single one of you guys for being here, for joining me, for supporting this channel in any way, fashion, but just mostly just being here and supporting me that way. You guys are the beautiful people, as I call it. Don't change a thing about yourselves, and don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Does anybody have any questions, thoughts, theories, opinions, anything to throw at me before I jump out of here? I got you. Yeah, Gary, I don't blame you, brother. Sleep when you can sleep, my friend. Enjoy it too, because it's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Bianca. Absolutely. Thank you, Leslie, for throwing that at me. And yes, there's an Ox article as well. Miss Terry has brought to my attention. I don't have time to throw that out tonight, but it's something we can look at for sure, and we should look at. I agree. Felicity J, it's wonderful to see you here. Have a good night yourself. I really appreciate your input lately that you've been putting on the different channels I've seen, and the things you're saying really makes a lot of sense. So thank you for your input. I appreciate you very much. Um, Sony, all of you guys, and I'm gonna do that right now, actually, as we're sitting here before you guys all leave, which a bunch of people left already. So Heather Fitzgerald has been very helpful with a lot of input and insight into this. Thank you for joining us, Sony, Gary Epley. Absolutely, brother, I get you on that one. Phantasmic Ether, nothing half-assed, any curve. God bless. I appreciate you. Melanie Mitchell, Heather Fitzgerald, Brian Hoffman, always fun with you, Bry Guy. Miss Terry Martin, Bianca K, Leslie Densley Watkins, Lucia Olson. Let me see here. Sherry Ann, always a pleasure. Proud Mary Vibes, thank you so much. Evie Marie, thank you, thank you. I don't want to miss any. Miss Draw Latina Doc, it's always a pleasure to have you here to hear your input and to see what you think on these things. Benny Kerf, Miss Mandy Joe, the Wonder Mod. She's everywhere and everywhere, guys. Everywhere. Thank you, Mandy. So very much. Iris Hewlett, pleasure to have you here again. William Tardy, great to see you, brother. Thank you. As always, I appreciate you all. CR. Marietta Rosser, thank you for joining us tonight for this. Good golly, Miss Molly Drake's in the house. Another one of my amazing moderators. Thank you, Molly, for being here, being you, and just doing what you do. I appreciate you very much. And that goes to all you moderators. You guys do amazing stuff, and I appreciate you and couldn't do this without you. So thank you all so very much for everything. Bianca K, Lynn T, thank you for being here. Deborah Lynn Polly Putnam, thank you so very much for being here. And I think I got you guys. I think I got it covered. Anybody I may have missed, anybody that's just out there lurking, not in the chat, I appreciate you so very much as well. Just for quietly standing onto the side, watching and listening, and I appreciate you guys. All of you guys. I love you guys to death. And don't forget, like I said, guys, love yourselves, love each other. Don't change a thing about yourselves. You're the beautiful people. You are what makes me who I am. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I will see you so very soon. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.